Welcome, welcome, welcome. Wait, where is anything? Oh God. Nothing was showing up there for a moment and I got worried. Hello, people. Now, the way oh my God. There's a bit of a funny way I came about deciding to stream this today. I literally just went on Steam and typed in the word bunny to see what comes up. The top result is Super Bunny Man, which, as fun as that may be, it requires... Did I shit my... I did, never mind that. It requires people to play with. Something I do not have easy access to. And this was the second thing down in the list of stuff if you type in the word bunny. I scrolled for a while to see what else came up. I have a strange feeling it's just about what you would expect from the word bunny. Just a lot of the bunny girl outfit, which, as entertaining as that can be, I don't think I can stream that. Or at least a lot of those. So we wind up here with Tiny Bunny that I know basically nothing about, other than the Steam page just says it is non-linear visual novel, and what is the exact tagline? It's weird hearing the owl noise come in through the game, because I sometimes hear owls actually outside. Can I... one moment. Oh my God. Oh, this is one of those types of games. Oh. Skip read, Just looking at some settings here, because I have done nothing. Actually, one second. Due to window... Oh God, it's tiny now. But I just want to do something real quick. The only thing I know about this game... Also, hey Bagel, how you do? Or one of the 20 names you've gone by at this point. The only thing I know about this game is the tagline on its Steam page. Those who have heard the voice of the forest are beyond help. That is as much as I know about this. Alright, get this back to full screen. No beloved, only dead. Oh, back. So, let's just go in. I don't know what to expect, other than potentially a lot of reading because it is a visual novel. The wind clawed at my window all night long. Oh. It wanted the field. It wandered the fields and howled like a hungry beast. An endless song weaved from all sorts of voices. Shrill, gentle, sneery, twisted in the air. They were shouting and laughing. Also, I forget what the owl house was. I remember there was a conversation about it some time ago, but I forget. And arguing about something. Someone was running through the snow while casting long shadows that would occasionally creep close to my bed. Our house had a mind of its own. Creaky, old mind of a building that has seen a lot in its days and was seemingly trying to share its wisdom with the inhabitants. Oh, it's a show. That would explain why I don't know anything about it. The lonely house faced the forest, and the dark green thicket gazed back with its hollow eyes, rustling, whizzing, swaying back and forth. Reading this type of writing while I hear creaking behind me is not a settling feeling, let me tell you that much. One could come out and stand at the edge of the forest to reassure themselves there was nobody behind the crooked trees. Fuzzy silhouettes swaying in the wind couldn't possibly do any harm. It's just a play of light and shadow. My schmonga? What? I don't know what that word means. Just a play. I knew it was just my imagination. I was already 12. Man, the voice I am putting on does not exactly feel like a 12-year-old, and also the voice I'm doing, I know this is set in Russia, so I know my voice is inaccurate, but I'm just choosing this. Still. Oh, I didn't... How long has that wolf been there? How long was there a wolf just staring at me from the weird stuff over here? Episode 1, The Owl Will Arrive. My mind is going to be playing tricks on me because I didn't even notice the wolf while I was reading that. Oh. Hey, put away your book. I forgot this was in Wait, can I? Or can I? I think this is just all in Russian, so I'm still going to read this. I do not know that. How many times have I told you not to read at the table? It's bad for your health. Look how slouched you are. I feel mildly called out, but I'm actually not slouching that much right now. However, I am sitting mildly akin to L from Death Note. Hide? Oh, hide the book. I didn't protest and put the book about Conan the Barbarian aside. Conan the Barbarian? I was stuck on a line I couldn't understand after reading it 3 times anyway. Oh. Good on you for trying that many times. Olya had already finished her breakfast and was munching on some cookies. She was so enthusiastic, she almost looked like your typical girl from commercials. You're not going anywhere until you finish all of it. I don't know why that... Okay, I'm bringing her voice down a little bit, I guess. I, on the other hand, was still trying to drill a hole in the plate with my eyes, as if it would make the porridge disappear. You know what? That is good. What? Whatever. You know? Because creative freedom, I guess. I don't know. People just put in what they like. Also, there is a more efficient slit upon your face that you could use for getting rid of food. I'm just gonna say. Hazy anxiousness welled up inside me, all because the previous sleepless night, the black forest around our house, and the gloomy wind. The longer I waited, the colder the lumpy white substance became. It looked like a jellyfish from the Costel Odyssey. I love that show. I love that show. I don't know why him inserting that there is weird. Wonder how horrifying the bottom of the ocean is. You ever wondered what the closest thing to hell on Earth is? It's probably the bottom of the ocean, and that's just because people don't know what the hell is down there. The closest thing to hell on Earth is very likely the bottom of the ocean. Let's be real here. Or how cold the Black Forest is at night. Oh! The spoon fell out of my hand. I, in fact, was very clumsy. Mom showered me with a cold glare from her green eyes. Ah yes, this here is my favorite shade of green. I get that's in black and white, that's the joke. What did I just say? Oh! I'll get it. Oh god, that's his voice. I'm not... changing the voice. Oh, what the... I had 10 seconds to catch my breath before battling the nasty porridge once again. Man, this kid does not like eating. I felt around for the spoon. What is this? Carved on the other side of the table. What? Karina. Oh, that's my mom's name. I guess she carved it out with something pointy when she was little. This table has endured a lot of stuff. She sure was a rascal damaging the furniture like that. She would scold me for a week if I did something similar, though. Parents are hypocrites like that, but at the same time, they know the tricks. Should I remind her about it? No, she's been in a bit of a bad mood lately. I imagine her being my age sitting under this table. I wonder, was Mom afraid of the dark back then? Or the sounds coming from the attic? Or the thick forest? Oh, I imagine my grandma coming into my little mom's room, sitting at the edge of her bed, where Olya sleeps nowadays, and saying this in her soft, smooth voice. Taiga is a special place, little girl. It's watching you closely, sniffing you out. Trying to discern what kind of beast you are. If you're a good sort, it won't abandon you in times of trouble. But if you're a bad apple, it'll grab you by your side and drag you under the ground. Well, that's very comforting to tell the child. And that would be it. And that would be it. Old lady, I have a strange feeling this is a lot more horrifying to a child than you realize. Actually, no, that's probably the point. That is probably the point. Let's be real, there are a lot of stories simply designed to terrify children into obeying stuff because it's easier to get them to understand that. Grandma was caring, she never fought with anybody, never yelled, never swore. She only did her, standard horrify the children routine. Those are the times without the maddening screams until late at night, without smashed dishes and mutual accusations. Why is the music going? Our parents used to love each other back then. And then came the divorce. They told me it wasn't my fault, but I heard them yelling about me behind closed doors. I knew that had I not been born, they would likely still be together. I remember listening in on one of their conversations by chance. They were talking about Grandma getting prepared for her funeral. Prepared for the afterlife! I respect this Grandma now. She had already bought a casket. Pre-order your casket now and we'll bury you for free! God, if funeral homes ever have pre-order bonuses. And she called it her cute funeral box. It waited for its time in the closet, patiently. It was black, upholstered with meat-colored material on the inside. I saw it when my grandma was getting buried. Why would you describe it as meat-colored? Why? Buy one jar for ashes, get a second one free! When you order us to dig your grave, we'll dig one for your significant other if you have one. Absolutely free. Billy Mays' funeral service. The house didn't change since the time she was alive. Only all of the photos were gone. Glass-covered pictures with gray faces of my ancestors. They all had a dead but watchful look in their eyes. The only coulda I have played, I think... Oh, God. No. I have never played a traditional visual novel. The only visual novel I have played are the ones in VR, like the Outdeus ones. I have never actually done any visual novel stuff before. That I remember, at least. I crawled out from under the table. And those ones I made an exception for because there is something fun to it in VR, and this one I'm making an exception to because, like I said, I impulsively typed bunny into Steam, saw what came up, and decided to play it because it's the bunny holiday. And the art style in this looked interesting. Oh my god, okay, minor aside this talk. What was it? There was the episode of, I think it was King of Queens, if anyone knows that show, where the, whatchamacallit, the old guy had pre-ordered his headstone and gotten it, like, pre-engraved. And because of the time the show was coming out, it was, he was just sitting there like, well, they engraved my death date to be in the 1900s. They guaranteed me I'd be dead by 1999, and here I am. Oh, God, the random little memories that stuff can bring up. Olya was done with her cookies, except for the little bits of the cookies that were still in her mouth, and was looking at my share like a sly woodland creature. Again, I know this game is set in Russia, so my accent that I'm putting on for these characters doesn't make sense, but this is how I'm doing something. Also, yeah, I think I'm in as good a position on the screen as I can to not block stuff. I turned my gaze toward the frosted window, my bad. Minor dyslexia setting in. I don't know if I have dyslexia, it feels like it sometimes, though. There were a lot of dark pines outside, but they didn't grab my attention. The pattern of frost formed a picture on the glass. I relate to this boy, because I stare at the same time. Yes, all the buy one get ones on headstones. Yes. Oh yeah, look, it's a fox. Oh yeah, there's the thing that actually caught me off guard while I was reading the intro, because I didn't realize it was staring at me. Where? Oh god, no. If I do her voice like that the entire time, I'm going to cringe whenever I'm looking back on the stream for editing. And I'm relatively where? Can I just kind of... Okay, I can kind of bring my voice... Yeah, screw it. Where? It looked almost like those optical illusion things they put up on the back of student notebooks. The Rorschach test? A mixture of lines at first glance. But if you blur your vision a little... It's like I'm squinting at it to see if I see anything else. I see what looks like a butterfly in the fox's head, and stuff. And look under a certain angle. Yeah, okay, I hurt my neck doing that one because I did it too aggressively. Oh god, nope, that was a mistake. That was absolutely a mistake. Not outside, on the window. Look, here's the nose, and here's... Hey, eat up. Oh my god, she's... Yes, just a moment. I didn't see anything. Hurry up, there's not much time left. Ah, there it is, but it still doesn't look like one. And I'm telling you it does. Wow, I went harder into that voice. And I'm telling you it does. I'm just gonna let her have that line delivery. It does. Stop it. These kids, I swear. Huh? Now I couldn't see the fox either. I'm trying to see if I can see anything in this. I see a few things in here, but... It went away. Only the frosty patterns, similar to stretched out nettle leaves, kept creeping up the glass. Oh Jesus, there's a Not gonna lie, because he hadn't been here up until now, I had completely thought there was no father in the picture. My dad entered the kitchen with a long, measured steps. I want to have a beard like his when I grow up. No. Look, given that I'm the one who's mildly in control of this story, trust me, kid, you're probably not gonna live long enough to get to that point. Mom would always ask, jokingly, come on, shave it off its strings. This was so long ago. Nowadays, rumbling doors and witty comebacks were an everyday occurrence. Olya will always covers her ears whenever she hears something like, what's the point in all this, through the wall? And she... Compare Giga Oh god, you're right. Oh, the black and white styling in him. Oh my god. It's the artistic rendition and clothed Giga Chad. No. Oh my god, he is the Giga Chad. Oh my... The thing is, I don't even need to compare him. I don't need a side-by-side. I absolutely see it. The pose, the angle, the coloring. Oh my god, he is the Giga Chad. It's for all your sakes, Dad replied. For the sakes of our family. God. Yeah, he's the one I'm gonna do a horribly stereotypical Russian accent for, and I apologize. I always caught every sound in fear of hearing the most dreaded, the deadliest word that started with a D. Dongle. It signified the removal of the headphone jack. Giga Chad got a family? Buddy, yeah, he's got a family. And you literally showed up when they're discussing divorce. I just need a boom, but can you feel the love? I don't know if you're misremembering that. It's can you feel my heart? Bring me the horizon. Can you feel the love? Is almost the Lion King song. She got in the way of the grind set. Yeah, he's a little bit toned down, but also he's wearing clothes, so it's not fair to compare him. D-I-V-O. Wow, they are quite literally spelling it out for us. I don't even want to finish it. Cut to the clip in Iron Man 3. Which happens? Dads leave. No need. What was the... I'm not gonna finish that quote myself, just because I don't actually like saying that word. Can you feel the love? There's another Giga Chad song? It was too scary to imagine that me and my little sister could be torn apart and taken to two different families. Who else would eat all your food? You just don't swear? I do, I just for some reason don't on stream. But that word specifically just feels weird, like, I don't know, the p of it just feels weird coming out the mouth. Anyway, your fox is nothing. I have an owl on my window. You and your owl talk again. You said you believed me just yesterday. Has anybody seen my car keys? So, Tom and Jerry. Nah, my favorite thing in Tom and Jerry's was the couple of episodes where they would, like, cut to a sign that pointed at someone, or specifically the dog, whatever the dog's name was, and it would just say jackass. That would be my personal favorite. Oh, the good old cartoons. I remember leaving them on the windowsill. Yes, it was actually the fox that took them. Right. Maybe you did, maybe not. You're a grown man, a father of two, and still... That's not an argument when it comes to misplacing things. Karina, please stop. Saying you're an adult with a father of two is not a reason to say that you're misplacing things. Just let me get ready in peace. Your keys are in the basket near the phone. Well, thank you very much. Was that really so hard to say? Why did you have to try and make that a confrontation? Oh my god, they want to tear this family apart. Anton, stop making a martyr of yourself and finish eating already. But the owl. I didn't mean to go that high with her voice. The supposed to say no. Well, this game, yeah, Giga Chad's been around for a while, so yeah. There was no owl. But there was one. It had giant glowing eyes. Oh my god, the things that chill. Oh jeez, you're down the middle of stuff. Olivia sprung up from her chair and placed her hands on her little face, imitating the pair of eyes with her fingers, the size of an apple each. That is horrifying! An owl with eyes like apple size? Oh, bunny want me? Look, I don't know what the bunny wants. Last year you had bye-bye in your bye-bye? In your closet, and now it's this owl. But I saw it. I feel like every time I do her voice, I get high, and my voice gets higher. Olya shifted her gaze back and forth from Dad to Mom to me, but couldn't find any support. I'll call him terrifying. Look, when your eyes are as big as your head should be, there's a certain thing. Like, just imagine a human being creature with an eyeball the size of the forehead. No, he's just the Giga Chad. He is just Giga Chad. Have you thought about befriending it? You know, like feeding it with imaginary mice. Don't bully our girl. Wait, what? She's just afraid to sleep alone because she's still little. Oh, okay. Olga pouted her lips in rebellion and rushed into the hallway. The staircase that led to the second floor creaked. I tried to make my chair make the creaking noise for the stairs. I don't think it worked. Mom gave Dad a strict look. Oh, that look in her eyes. It's uncomfortable to be pinned under it. Yeah, no, I wouldn't want that. No. It's just Giga Chad. She's still just Mother, or whatever her name is that was under the table. Dad just snorted in reply and left, ringing with the keys he just found. A minute had passed, and the theme song from The Little Mermaid echoed through the house. It was scored on incredibly worn-out cassette tape, which Dad already had to glue together once. It's so easy to fix objects. By gluing them back together, for example. Yeah, no, I'm glad the song is not playing. I got Disney. I'm trying to... I think this is 90s Russia, so I'm trying to think, yeah, that would... Also, so easy fixing objects. By gluing them back together, for example. So I thought I could do the same to my parents. While they were asleep, I doused them in the strongest glue that I could find. And then I smooshed them. I literally just opened the game's Steam, looked up Bunny, found this game, read the description, and went on. All I know is it's Russian. I'm just like, yes. Gorilla Glue, buy one, get one free. It comes free with your coffin. Make sure you never shake loose or come back from the dead as a zombie. But how do you fix a relationship? That is an amazing question. Mom moved into the living room, and I was left alone, anxiously stealing glances at the window. Is the fox back? Oh, hello. Olya had trouble sleeping ever since we moved to this house. She would toss and turn or curl up into a ball under the blanket. Funny enough, I still have these things. Look, when you're left to ponder, you come up with some interesting stuff. Sometimes she would jump up in the middle of the night and turn on the VCR. Cartoons helped to take her mind off all the troubles we had with the move and our parents. 50% on Black Friday Gorilla Glue. Oh, hello, Owl. And then Olya said she saw that giant flying monster outside her window. Oh, no. The eyes the size of apples. The body is scaled. She became obsessed with it. Our parents did everything in their power. They tried every little trick to get rid of those ridiculous fears. Those are ovals, not apples. The size! It's the size, not the shape. The bunny is a metaphor? I honestly don't know. Olya refused to sleep alone and didn't believe that the owl was just one of her nightmares. After last night, I was unsure what to make of my sister's words, what to think of it myself. Animation, the animation of her face, you mean, or? Oh yeah, no, I did just realize, like, right here, the eyebrow is kind of, like, pulling the hair with it a little bit. Oh, I think, okay, yeah. Yeah, I think I see what you mean. Can nightmares be infectious? I don't know, I haven't been able to infect anyone with mine yet, so, jury's still out on that one, but I'm still trying sometimes. That night, I couldn't get a wink of sleep and ended up thinking of what to expect from my new school. There were a couple of days left before the beginning of a new term. My imagination drew long, twisting hallways that led to classroom full of kids. But all the students behind their desks were simply dark figures cut out using a template. That sounds like a silhouette. Circular holes gaped in the middle of their faces, and pairs of eyes blinked inside those holes. It was as if some completely different creatures were looking at me from behind the flat black silhouettes. Their cruel glares filled with icy sneers made me shiver from head to toe. Will I survive here? Why do I have a given the nature of this game, why do I feel like a classroom is the least of your worries? They won't gang up on me and beat me down, stomp on me with their bloodied shoes. Jesus Christ, you're 12. Why are you worried that people are going to murder you? You know, okay, I just said what I said, and you're saying he's overreacting, but this is kind of... Children's minds can go places, exaggerate stuff, so it does make sense. Especially with all the other weird stuff going on around. Did it feel a touch over the top in the mind from the outside perspective? Yes, but at the same, I can kind of see, like, where his mind would draw some conclusions. The damn school can burn for all I care. Okay! Saying it can burn down before you're even going there, that's a great way to keep an open mind. You know, I wish I had read this next line before trying to defend him saying he's not. This is like, oh, this is relatively fine. I just wish for anything to happen to it. Doesn't really matter what. I didn't want to go there that badly. I didn't want to see people who are just itching to smack me on the head, trip me up, think of a new offensive name for me worse than the previous one. I have a strange feeling this kid may have a history with some types of stuff that is leading him to think of this, but I have no idea. Past experience, fear, and imagination. Yep. No, yep. Kuda, you were like, on my end, you were a second after I said the past experiences thing. I felt like the glasses I wore made me an outsider or some sort of a monster. My gaze slid across the drawings hanging on the walls. I couldn't consider myself a great artist, but Olya begging me to hang them. Drawing was the only thing that made me happy as of late. Was there... Oh, there is creaking sounds playing. Okay, I'm not crazy. Oh my god. There's actual creaking that pops up behind me sometimes randomly. The fact that this game is throwing in creaking is not going to help me. A small circle of friends I had also enjoyed my paintings, and they promised to call me from time to time. Sometimes I imagine my mom picking up the phone and saying in a cold voice, "You've got the wrong number." Or, "Anton isn't around. Anton is not around." I imagine my future classmates lying in their beds just like me, listening to the howls of invisible werewolves outside their windows. Yeah, especially with good headphones. Oh yeah, no, they are. It just doesn't help when the actual equivalent exists and I can't tell which one is reality or not. Maybe my new classmates will like me after all. But who would ever like a boy with thick glasses? That creaking continues to make me uncomfortable. He's very focused on his glasses, which I kind of... Thinking of the time... Yeah, no, it somewhat can make sense at the time. I mean, my dad used to wear glasses when he was little, and now he's married to the most beautiful woman on the planet, my mom. He is also quite literally the Giga Chad. Let's be real, the Giga Chad could pull off any style of glasses perfectly fine. The house creaked, pressed by the wind. The condo we used to live in, a 9-floor concrete building, buzzed with neighbors' drill, mumbled with a TV set from behind the wall, cried like a baby from the big family next door. Our current house, though, I can't really call it new, was completely different. It was silent and easygoing during the day. Its shadows lay dormant in the corners of the closet, cobwebs, and under the stairs. But they all woke up during the night. You know, shadows do tend to come out when dark. Actually, no, they need light to be Shadows are dark, that's what I'm trying to get at. Something was watching me from every corner, almost as if the old photos of my deceased family, with their ashen eyes, were hanging on the walls in place of my drawings. The floor was squeaky, rusty drains were moaning, the attic was occupied by noisy drafts. One could think the house was performing some sort of demonic melody. I concur with this conclusion. And then I realized I was, in fact, hearing music. It was already playing for a good while. Wait, the music is actually here. Somewhere at the edge of my perception, I could hear a flute. I'm relatively certain that's a piano, but I could be mistaken. I'm not an instrumental expert, but I think that's a piano. It was mixed with the sound of the wind, of the creaking old house, and my thoughts too. I stood up and rushed to the window. I wanted to reassure myself that this music was nothing more than a product of my imagination. It's not like someone is playing it there amidst the cold, snowy night, right? It kind of... left the screen said, oh my god, that sounds horrifying. Oh, that's good. That sounds amazing and horrifying. Oh, that's good. That's good. Oh. Oh. Show me the oh god, Bright! What? Someone was dancing in the field. Why are you saying someone? The only way that is someone is if that is a group of... Wait, one of them looks mildly like a tribal dress human, but most of them look like animals. Black silhouettes I could barely make out, with the dark forest as the backdrop. They jumped around, basked in the moonlight, bumped into piles of snow, rolled around, and crawled on all fours. Stories about wolves playing under the moon came to mind, but these were clearly not wolves. They stood upright at times, circled around, holding hands and whipping up snow, disappearing into the shadows for a brief moment, and then coming back. Something bizarre was going on. Shadows dancing in the starless abyss made my imagination go wild, making me anxious at the same time. Oh! Y'all want to have a staring contest? Suddenly the music had stopped. The dancing shadows froze in place, and I could swear pierced me with their eyes. This image does not show any eyes, they are still pure silhouettes. One of the silhouettes immediately parted from the bizarre shadow carnival and sprinted across the field with giant leaps. Oh! It glided on squeaky snow without leaving any prints until it was devoured by the pitch-black shadow of my house, which became even darker and thicker. My heart was jumping around like a bird inside a cage. Shut the curtains with a swift motion and stepped back towards the bed. They saw me. A freezing torrent of fear washed over me. I stood in the middle of a perfectly dark room and listened to some unwanted guest move and scrape around looking for an entrance. Sound moved to the right and circled around the house. Now my guest should be at the front door. I jumped into the bed and covered myself with the blankets as if it could protect me, because they absolutely can. The safest, whenever you have a shadow monster after you, everyone knows you tuck yourself tight into a ball under the blankets and no evil may harm you. That is step one of defense against the supernatural. The shackles of fear locked my muscles. I remembered the funeral, my grandma lying there, hands crossed on her chest, her facial features sharp like that of a tin doll. Ants running up and down the legs of chairs that held my grandma's casket. I imagined those little creatures climbing up her head and pulling up her eyelids with their tiny legs. God, I hate ants! Then her wrinkly eyeballs would once again move inside their sockets as she'd be able to see her grandchildren. I was chanting the spell she taught me throughout the whole procedure, and now lying under the blanket and listening to squeaks and howls, I repeated the same words. The island of Buyan, underneath the blemished sun, in the sea of color blue, stands a cabin made of wood. There lay lard and ashen hair for the spawn from devil's lair, to feast and always leave alone God's faithful servant named Anton. Wait, Anton? Yeah, no, it's covered a little bit by, like, the menu options, so that confused me. Evil leave this house must, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Bizarre sounds had disappeared. I cautiously peeked out from under the blanket and saw curtains waving around like a hanged man. And then the night doused me with a new portion of boiling terror. Sound scratched at my eardrums. In reality, something or someone was scratching at the front door, hurriedly clawing at the wood, demanding to be let in. The door was shut. Dad had become very cautious recently, so he installed a sturdy lock. If this thing has sharp enough claws, it won't care about the lock, hinges, or anything metal. It'll go straight through the wood. I remember him staring at the forest intensely as if he was looking for someone. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Oh, it found the window. Well, I'm screwed. I hugged my knees, placing my chin between them, and drilled the door with my eyes. It was so flimsy and weak before the might of darkness. And then the doorknob twitched slightly. Then it turned halfway, once, twice, as if the person who tried to enter had no hands. Doorknob tilted once more and then started clicking violently. Jaw cramped from fear, wet fingers clutched on the blanket. The door creaked and opened. The wind taunted me, moaning inside the tin drains. Now you'll see. The door was wide open. The darkness withered inside the carnivorous mouth of a doorway. It was as if the night itself was calling out to me, flapping its black wings and speaking with rusty hinges. I was trembling, ensnared by the web of darkness that hung in the corners of my room, waiting for the one who weaved it to come out of the gaping black hole. My abdomen tightened, chest rose up, ready to exhale a desperate scream. But before I was able to do anything, the darkness asked me, "Tosha, you asleep?" Wait. My sister's pale face protruded from the thick shadows. I almost screamed from relief. Olya, I'm not sleeping. Did something happen? Oh, I cut off him actually talking. Olya frowned and stuck out her lower lip, a clear sign that she was about to cry. It's there again, staring at me. Shoo her away, Tosha. Please. I'm too scared. The fear that was tormenting me just a minute ago crawled away and hid somewhere in my stomach. I needed to calm Olga down. It was just a dream, silly. Don't be scared. Dreams don't bite. Depends on the dream, if I'm being completely honest. No one's gonna harm you. Olga sobbed. She was trying her best to believe me. But was I sure myself? After what just happened? No. I have an idea. Let's go to your room and watch the video Sleeping Beauty, for example. What? You like that cartoon, don't you? Why does a Sleeping Beauty have a prince and I have this scary bird? I don't know, you lost the lottery. That question took me by surprise. Alright, let's watch Cinderella. Thoughts became tangled and fuzzy. A lot of Disney movies, but what was that? What studied me with its eyes while dancing feverishly under the moon? The darkness was clinging to the window, and it couldn't be fooled by Grandma's old chants. Couldn't be satisfied with a feast of lard and long ashen hair. Tosha, are you coming? Yes, just a moment. Oh, Jesus! Oh, I'm not being wait, what? Oh. I'm just gonna say, the sounds of... the wet sounds of being eaten sounded like they were coming from within... They actually sounded like they were coming from within the center of my head there for some reason. That's why I didn't want to laugh at Olya and her owl in the morning. Actually, I feel like that's a good note to do a BRB on real quick, because I'm feeling a need to do a BRB real quick. So I'm just gonna... one moment. I have the right BGM on, right? Yes. I'm gonna switch to the calming BGM real quick. And quickly do a BRB before continuing this. What a lovely double fake out there. But yeah, real quick, BRB. Alrighty, back to the reading. That's why I didn't want to laugh at Olya and her owl in the morning. Who could be visiting us here in the middle of nowhere? I didn't even know Amazon delivered out this far. We don't know anyone around here. So persistent. Felt extremely unsettled just from a silly thought that our morning guest could have come from the woods. Ah, yes. A giant... I'm just imagining that fox or whatever is just there, claw hitting the doorbell. I could barely hear any voices coming from the front door. My mind was urging me to hide. In the closet, under the table, behind the curtains where Olya always hides. Tosha, come here. Felt like kettlebells were tied to my feet, but still dragged them toward the hallway. What? A couple of policemen towered over me in the doorway. They smelled like frost and worry. My mom always winced and grumbled the moment she saw police cards. Cards? Cars? Worse than bandits. At that moment, though, she looked somewhat confused. Not gonna lie, I'm right there with her on the confusion department. Hello? The senior officer, who wore a grim expression, nodded. A boy had gone missing yesterday. His name is Vova. Look at this, please. Have you seen him? The policeman handed a photograph to me. There was a ginger boy around the age of elementary school, pictured with a wall carpet as the backdrop. He had a striped cat in his hands and wore a wide smile.
Нет.
No, I haven't.
Точно?
Are you
Посмотри
sure?
внимательнее.
Look closely.
Где мне его видеть?
Where would I see him? I don't know anyone around here. I barely leave the house.
А может, видел в окно?
Well, maybe you've seen him from the window? That's right, your window looks straight at the forest, don't they? The window.
Нет, не видел.
No, I haven't seen anything. At least nothing involving this boy. I saw something that looked very much like a forest culty thing going on, but I don't think that's related to the missing boy.
Ясно.
I see. He sounded tired, but his eyes, his stare, long and heavy, was full of suspicion. Why is this guy suspecting a 12-year-old boy to have seen something out the window? I squirmed unwittingly under the weight of guilt, which his giant shadow cast over me. The policeman finally tore his eyes from me and glanced over the hallway, the stairway, and the cracks in the ceiling, which I haven't noticed before for some reason.
Вы, кстати, как на новом
How do
месте?
you like your new place, by the way?
Попривыкли уже?
Getting used to it?
Понемногу, только вот
Bit
дочка
by bit.
маленькая по
It's
городу
just our
скучает.
little daughter misses the city a lot.
Скучает, значит.
Misses
Из
the city, huh?
местных вас никто не
Have the
беспокоит?
locals been treating you well?
Все хорошо, спасибо.
Yes, everything is alright, thank you. The policeman pierced through me one more time with his brown eyes. My head started spinning.
Может, вам помочь как-то?
Can I help you somehow? I asked that in a shaky voice to look like a polite boy and to end his unpleasant unpleasant conversation
Я
sooner.
вот стою и думаю.
Now that I think about
Ты
it,
малец на племеша
you look
был
just
похож.
like one of my nephews, little fella.
Шустрый парнишка, твоих
He's a witty
лет.
boy around
С
your
такими же
age with the same
Всё книжками
type of
зачитывается,
goggles.
детективами.
Always engrossed in reading those mystery
Когда
novels.
летом погостить
Told me
приезжал,
he wants to
говорит,
enroll
что
in
в
police
школу
school
милиции
when
мечтает
his
поступить.
families visited this summer.
Как я. Хотел людям помогать.
Wanted to help other
Смекаешь?
people just like me, see? I felt uncomfortable as if a distant relative and not a police officer stood before me.
Ох,
You know what?
ребятушки. Сидите-ка вы
Little
лучше
boys like you
дома.
should stay at home,
Не
stay away from
ввязывайтесь ни во
trouble.
что. Жизнь сейчас
Times have
совсем
changed
другая
so
после.
much. Mom interjected in a cold voice.
Мне ли не знать?
You don't say.
Ну да ладно.
Well then.
Ты, Антон, в каком классе
What
учишься?
grade are you in, Anton?
В 6.
6.
Друзей-то на новом
Have you
месте
made any
еще не
friends so
завел?
far?
Пока нет.
Not yet.
Я только после каникул в
I'll
школу
be going to
пойду.
school for the first time after the break.
Тогда вот вам на всякий случай
And
мой
the-
номер.
Ah,
Звоните,
then I'll
если
leave you my number just in
если
case.
узнаете что.
Call me if you have any new info. The policemen were gone along with their shadows. Smell of cheap cologne and photo of a smiling boy. His face still stood before my eyes. I wondered what it was like for him, being all alone there. Oh my... God, the actual creak. Sorry, I need to actually take note of something, because I keep hearing actual creaking from behind me that I don't think is part of the game. For some reason, I thought of the forest swaying in the wind. Actually, I'm just gonna quickly be right back and make sure my door is locked, because, again, I just keep hearing creaking and I forget if I locked it or not. One moment. Alrighty, I just had to make sure there was, like, because I keep hearing actual creaks behind me, not any part of the game. For some reason, I thought of the forest swaying in the wind. What did his poor parents feel? What would my parents do if I'd gone missing? Well, given that your father is quite literally Giga Chad, I honestly just think he would destroy the forest and find you, but that's beside the point. Would they cry and thrash around hysterically? Or would they accuse each other like they always do, and forget about me eventually? I'm just gonna not comment on
А Вова этот в нашем
Mom,
лесу заблудился?
this. Vova, did he go missing in our forest?
Выходит, что так.
Seems like it, poor child. Well, he's probably a member of the Dancing Silhouette cult at this point. If he's not, then he's missing out on the good stuff. I looked out the window at the road. The police UAZ drove off towards the village. The officer's nephew came to mind when I was splitting off old paint from the windowsill. I remember all the teenage mystery novels from the Black Kitty series I read this summer. Your average boys and girls investigate all sorts of mysteries there. Those are novels. Please do not think novels are some type of reality. They look for clues, spied on suspicious people. After a set of amazing adventures, bam! Solved and solved any complicated case. It is not that simple, dear Lord. They became local celebrities, and they've made their parents very proud. I noticed a trail of policemen's footsteps that led into the forest, and then it clicked in my head. Why don't I start an investigation of my own? Oh boy, kid, you have a death wish. Kid, you have a death wish. Maybe I'll find that lost boy. Or maybe you'll find a grave with your name on it, and a death date of the day you find it. That is the more likely outcome, boy. Boy. You will find nothing but a tombstone with your name engraved upon it if you venture this path. And I'll get a reward. Olya will be so happy. She won't have a brother at the end of this. Not only Olya, Mom and Dad too. You're saying this like they're gonna be happy, but no, they're not gonna have happiness, they're gonna have a missing child. Maybe they'll even forget about their quarrels for a while. Maybe they'll even save us from the D word. I fantasize about buying Olya a Tamagotchi and getting a cassette player and a bunch of tapes for myself. Ironically, I was actually, just because of happenstance, I was looking at a Tamagotchi like a week ago, just because it happened to be in front of me, and I was like, oh, these old things. And a whole box of Kinder Surprise. When was the last time our parents bought us any toys? I don't know, they've probably been focused on the move. Last autumn, I think. My dad had lost his job at the time. There's that annoying song about it. I had little to no idea what was the accountant's job like. They count money, I think? Something along those lines. Neighbors used to envy us, but nowadays Mom and Dad barely had money to afford sweets, and Dad would always divide a single chocolate bar between me and Olya. Sometimes I gave her my share too. No matter how much I wanted to eat sweets, she was still just a pipsqueak. Couldn't wait to go out looking for clues. Oh my god, you were going to get yourself
Пойду
killed, boy.
погуляю.
I'm going outside.
Ага, сейчас.
Yeah, right.
Чтобы потом
You
милиционеры
want
с твоей
the
фотографией
police
туда
to go
походили.
around with your photograph next? Thank you.
Лес вон какой густой.
The forest is so thick.
А если мальчика звери дикие
What if the
утащили?
boy
Или
got
того
snatched up by
хуже?
wild animals or something even worse? Thank you for being the voice of reason here, as, honestly, even worse echoed through the hallway. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Да я рядом буду. В лес не пойду.
I won't go far. I'll stay away from the forest until something comes out of the forest and puts you in the forest.
Что я тебе сказала?
Did you hear what I
Мне
said?
дважды
Or should I
повторять.
repeat myself?
Лучше портфель собери.
Better
или
go
соли
pack a
поиграй.
stool bag or play with Olya. Oh. Sound of splashing water came from the kitchen. It meant that the argument was over and Mom had the last word. Do I have Death Wish? Wait, open. The dark, stuffy closet. It smells like mice, but how would she know their smell? She hates when I stick my nose in there. She's afraid I'll cut myself on the freshly sharpened axe. And Olya can't even be lured close to it. She thinks Baba is living in there. I tried to help her fight her fears once. I opened the door and turned on a dim lamp so she would see there was nothing but cobwebs, Dad's tools, and scratched walls. She still didn't believe me, and I liked to hide in the closet and listen to Olya count outside. 1, 2, 3, better hide from me. And then drag her feet on the creaking floorboards, hoping that she wouldn't need to look for me in the cramped monster's den. Cross had seen so many people come and go in this house. It was black as if it absorbed all human sin from long years it was hanging under that ceiling. After Grandma died, Mom was going to take it off and hang a horseshoe in its place as a lucky charm, but she cut herself with the cross's sharp corner and almost fell from the stepladder. Dad called it a sign from above and ordered the cross to be left alone in its rightful place. Well, Mom's peg top, family relic. Mom played with it when she was little, then gifted it to me. Olya was next in the succession line. The toy belonged to her now. She stared at the dancing spindle as if it could show her something, a fairy tale or maybe even our future. Now even my little sister was a bit too old for these old squeaky peg top. My parents prohibit me from making long-distance calls, but from time to time I really want to hear my old friends. Sometimes I would just pick up the phone, listen to the low hum of the zoomer and the distant cracking, imagining the wind howling and the ice leading chords. Okay, is there anything else? Why does she make that? Why does she make that noise when I touch her with my mouse? Anything in here? Grandma kept ice cream for me and Olya in there, but now I could only see meat bits for soup and clumped together pelmeni. I grew to hate them already. Script and stain-covered calendars are my favorite form of entertainment in Grandma's house. Waking up and running to the kitchen so I could tear off yesterday's leaf first thing in the morning. As if the coming day would get lost in the tiger forest without my help. One day closer to New Year's, one day closer to Grandma's funeral. I haven't touched this calendar for years now. Since the time they started writing dark and spooky death chants that only made me gloomy instead of funny proverbs and superstitions, to be exact. What? Grabbed a dusty calendar leaf with caution and it tore off effortlessly. Sadly, the spooky descriptions from my childhood were still there. 7 horses carry the log. If 7 can't carry, bring an 8th from a fairy. They will take it away and never come back. This is the fate the log cannot escape. Crumpled the gray leaf and threw it into the waste bin, hoping to get rid of the anxiousness that washed over me. It was spreading inside me like an ink stain on blotting paper. Oh! Oh, okay. Anton, I'll whip you if you take a single step outside. Oh. It was difficult to lie to Mom, but there was no other way for... Wait, there was no other way for me to run away from home? I'm sorry, this took a... Wait. What happened to just going out and investigating this stuff? You are taking this farther. Mom, something's wrong with the TV. Picture's dim and there's stripes all over the screen. Mom's face became visibly distorted. You're killing me here. So, have you had enough of shooting those stupid ducks now? Oh, a duck hunt. Told you the kinescope will go dim because of your console. Where will we find the TV technician in this hole, huh? Maybe it's just the settings. Please go see for yourself. Strange, it worked fine in the morning. Maybe the snowfall caused it? Mom rubbed her hands clean on their apron and went to Olya's room. Which in turn means I can go outside a little bit. From the front gate and went into the field. Oh, this is a terrible idea. Carefully so Mom wouldn't see me from the window. What the? Oh, the birds. When I crossed half the distance of the snow-chosen forest, the snow piles became as high as my knees. Hello, birdie. I remembered my nightly fears. I saw those silhouettes around here. You are very devoted to the investigation thing if you're willing to go out even after what you saw last night. Water to redo throat. Wow, my water bottle's almost empty. Lovely water bottle noises. They were jumping around, holding hands. That hypnotizing music started playing in my head all on its own. In the light of day, those distant figures felt like a simple dream. The sun turned my nightmares to ash. but the aftertaste was still there, distant ringing in my ears, distorted shadows crawling on the snow alongside me, and a barely audible whisper in my head, blurry and almost kind. Everything was silent, so silent I felt like the world was totally empty. No ground, no sky, no parents, no Olya. The time reached its limit, a one-way trip that ended at the forest's piney stockade. Sometimes silence was much scarier than any scream. Yes, I agree. Our parents would scream at each other while arguing, and both me and Olya turned to stone, listening to them. But then always came the ringing silence. Yep. Our apartment became numb a couple of days before we departed. It was hard to remember the last time Mom and Dad joked around, laughing, or spent time together, almost like all of it was in a previous life. And yet they're still together, technically together for some reason. When they kissed with Olya present, she always frowned and snorted in a funny way. But one day it all changed. Something important had left our home, and something scary filled the remaining void. It was as if a fire broke out and our parents were hurriedly packing our belongings, trying to save themselves and us. From who, though? The people with dead, cold eyes who sometimes visited us in our previous home? The eyes that only saw balls of worms on the ground and everything? And somewhere far away, a siren was going off, trying to warn us of the coming menace. ... Oh, gee, hi. I shuddered, chasing away my delusions, and looked around. There were only me, this white field, and wind that was whipping up icy dust and belts of powdered snow. I squinted from the sun and turned my eyes to the sunless forest. It looked especially dark in contrast with the blinding whiteness. Knobby tree roots slithered around the snow like fat snakes. That's a lovely way to describe tree roots. Rotten leaves and coniferous needles froze into the ice. Huh? Dry prickly branches intertwined, bringing up uncomfortable thoughts about fences. Were they protecting the forest, or were they keeping something from breaking out? Some object hanging from one of the pointy branches. Tried to get closer, drowning in snow, and when I almost got to the edge of the forest, I saw a knitted mitten. It looked like a wonderful bird among the hungering semi-dark. Should I take it to the police? Senior officer looked gloomy, but he still reminded me of Captain Casanova from favorite TV show, The Streets of Broken Lights. He was always anxious, with a tired look in his eyes, but still brave and strong. Will Smitten helped them find the lost boy? Oh, Vova! I heard a distant shout, like it came from the river. Vova! As if the trees were calling out to someone. Vova resounded closer to me. Someone was standing there behind the trees, hiding. Vova. I knew someone was looking for the lost boy, but still, something was unsettling about that figure. Wait, someone hiding behind trees? Am I supposed to be able to see this? Because I don't. Its stillness. How it was bent unnaturally toward the ground. Its blackness. No one there, just branches and roots. It's all just my imagination. A nearby bird flapped its wings loudly. A shadow split from the tree and disappeared from my sight. There we go! I looked away for just a moment, but when I turned my gaze back to the same place, it was gone. So it was my imagination after all. Silence rained for a painfully long time. And now we look for the thing. Oh, what? I just realized there are footprints or something down there. Little prints under where the text box is. Also were tightly sprung. Heart was beating somewhere in my throat. You may want to get that checked out, little boy. That's not how anatomy is supposed to work. Any noise, any little movement, any small whisper from the thicket, and I'd sprint. But nothing of the sort happened. Looked at the mitten once more. We taken. But I know I was saying he has a death wish for it, but you know what? He seems to want that death wish, so I decided to take the lonely mitten from the branch forward. Short rumble across the field and dissolved into the distance. No echo, no hope for a reply. A lot of shadow figures going around. Music's going quite crazy here, too. Stepped toward the bristly trees and tried to claim my find. Oh boy. It didn't budge. Pulled harder, the branch cracked and the mitten tore off, landing in my hand with a squishy sound. All too heavy. Wet. I squeezed it without thinking and something dark spilled from it. A tiny string between the mitten and snow. Steam rose from the snow pile. Ah! Blood! Froze in place, studying my palms in disgust. Red. I mean, I can't see the red, because all I see is the black and white, but I get what you mean. Sound of cracking branches invaded the silence. I didn't have to think twice before running away. Yep, someone was chasing me from the darkness. Breaking pine branches closing the distance with giant leaps. Snow was slowing me down. Crazy thoughts flew through my mind. I'll get caught. They'll get me. I'll get dragged into the thicket. I'll be gone forever. But there was one more voice, probably one of reason. It gave me strength to spur me on. You can do it. Don't stop. I heard an animal roar behind me. It was so loud my ears went numb. Felt like the sound had come from a pack of hungry beasts rather than a single one. Their nostrils sucked in the freezing air, they sensed my fear. Two giant wings flapped above my head, an enormous shadow flew over the clearing. A hoot, a wheeze. The roars were coming from all directions now, from the dried up raspberry bush, from twisted pines, from under the windfall. Hurry, run, don't look back. I felt like I was inside a nightmare. You very well could be. The snowy clearing became vicious like quicksand. I was stuck in place. Pull a leg from the mushy trap, just to be caught in a new one even deeper than before. Continued to drown, sinking deeper and deeper with every desperate push. Was snow ever this sticky? I screamed in horror after realizing this wasn't snow. Is it all blood? Someone or something in the snow pile was clutching my pants. I gathered all my strength and rushed forward. Pressure on my leg was gone. Boots slipped out of the hole and shoes and soles were on a hard surface again. Reached a clear path with one jump from there, ran to house. Its gloomy facade didn't look threatening now. That house was my line of defense from the shadows that flapped their wings and the creatures that were hidden under the snow. Tripped over the doorstep and smashed into the door. In all my hurry, I still managed to notice the claw marks, as if a dog was striking the wood with its paws to manipulate it in so it could escape the cold. I hadn't noticed these marks when I was leaving. The heartbeat in my ears was much louder than my surroundings. I couldn't hear whether someone was following me or not. But if they were already in our front yard and Mom had locked the door. Drowning in fear, I pulled on the doorknob, and it obediently gave way. Rose into the hallway and shut the door behind me. Porch planks creaked as my pursuers ascended the stairs. Oh! My fingers slipped off the lock, and I couldn't click it into place. I gritted my teeth and pulled hard on the iron knob, whipping it between the boards. I stared blankly at the door. Someone was standing on the other side of the pitiful, flimsy barrier that was probably less useful than blankets. Well, anything's less useful than blankets in situations like this, because again, first thing about defense against the supernatural, you cuddle yourself in blankets, you're 100% fine. Wheezing breath reached into the house and crashed at me in waves. It smelled of pine and sweat. Mom peeked out from the kitchen and chastised me with the same frigid voice she always used when talking to Dad. What exactly didn't you understand when I told you never to slam the door? Wait, you were saying I'd be whipped if I went outside. You seem a lot more calm considering that.
Я случайно.
I didn't mean to. I snuck a glance at the door. The smell was gone. The breath was too. If there was someone in the first place, of course. Here, mere 5 meters away from Mom, my fear was slowly weakening, melting like snow in spring. And with the last bit of strength I had left in my body, too. My legs gave way. I propped myself against the wall so I wouldn't fall over. Mom's expression had changed immediately. The cold mass of strictness and detachment was gone. One moment. Yawning and adjusting myself in my seat. One moment. Yeah. And stretching / cracking myself. Oh. Cold mass strictness and detachment was gone. Mom looked the same as before all those quarrels. She finally saw my condition, my wet pants plastered with snow. Where have you been? What did I tell you, huh? I told you to stay home. Am I nothing to you too? Why? Oh, I got afraid she would cry. I reached out to her like when I was very little and wanted her to cuddle me. But Mom regained her composure fast and put on her usual face. Her eyes shinked like steel, her voice rang out. Dad can't find his cigarettes. Be honest, did you snatch them? Were you smoking in secret? There was someone chasing me, I thought.
Я думал, меня...
I started as soon as I started explaining myself. Tears welled up in my eyes. Mom leaned towards me and sniffed clothes like a beast, searching for the smell of tobacco. Then she squinted her eyes in suspicion and looked into the front yard. Her expression changed in an instant, and she covered her mouth with her hand. Look over there at the fence. My heart started thumping as if I became prey once again, and my pursuers were following me in the field. I could swear that I've heard something scratch at the door, just like my nightmare. Mom beckoned me with her finger, and I gathered all my remaining bravery to look into the kitchen window facing my fear. I could barely discern some hairy silhouettes swimming in snow through the icy winter patterns on the glass. Dogs. Small pack of strays, with no name and owner, barely reminding me of the hungry monsters that live on the edge of the forest. Are you scared of them? I think they'd rather be scared of you.
Они гнались за мной.
They're chasing me like a bunny! Bunny, like the name of this game?
А вдруг они бешеные?
And what if they're rabid? The smile had slowly disappeared from Mom's face. Now she looked at the dogs as if it was her first time seeing them. What if they attack Olya?
Mom,
Mom, I wish your dad could just shoot them all. Okay, maybe that's a little too extreme.
они живые.
Mom, look, they're alive.
А что?
Huh? What?
Ты уж определись? Они тебе друзья или враги?
Are they a friend or foe after all? Make up your mind.
Не маленький ведь уже.
They're not a little kid anymore. Mom sighed in annoyance and felt so... and I felt so bitter that I bit my lower lip and fixed my gaze on the cobweb-ridden corner just to keep myself from crying. Man, yep, the best anti-cry medicine. Cobwebs. Well, some detective I am. Yeah, what about the bloody glove? In reality, I wasn't risking my life amongst monsters, but rather my pants among a pack of stupid strays. And what for? What use do I have for this? Mitten. Of course, a dark and sticky mitten that belonged to the lost boy made a squishy sound in my hand. Seemed like I was clutching it the whole time. That's my trump card as a detective. You're really playing into this detective thing, kid, eh? Alright, to present the clue to my mom.
Мам, смотри, это Вовина
What
варежка.
was Mitten?
Ну того, про которого
The
утром
boy
милиция
the police were
спрашивала.
asking about this
Она
morning.
вся в крови,
It's
на
drenched in
дереве
blood. I
висела.
found it hanging in a
Вон там,
tree.
папе
I can
показать.
show where.
Давай в милицию скорее
Called the
позвони.
police right
Так нас
away,
участковый
like the
просил.
officer had told us
Мам,
to.
гляди. Фу.
Ah, yes. Just the random person's blood. A shadow of doubt slowly crept onto Mom's controlled face, as if she was trying to remember something distant. Like someone tries to remember their dream, but the image slips away.
А ну-ка прекрати сейчас же.
Stop at this
Оля
moment.
тебя услышит,
Alia will
с
go
ума
insane if she hears you.
сойдет. Она и так не спит. На всё
She
подряд
already has
жалуется.
trouble sleeping and whines all the
Ещё и
time.
ты со своими
And you joke
шуточками.
around like this. Huh? At that moment, I realized the mitten was actually wet from snow. There was no blood whatsoever. Oh, so the blood is just in his mind. Okay. Want to sink through the floor from embarrassment. I have been there.
Иди сюда, паникёр.
Come here, my boy, you cried
Да не
wolf.
стой столбом.
No, just stand there. Come take your pill. Your pills? Golden-colored pill, reminiscent of a dead wasp.
Я уже пил сегодня. За
Already
завтрак.
took one during breakfast.
Попререкайся мне ещё.
Don't talk over me. I
Сказала,
told
дома
you to
сиди,
stay
понятно?
home, and you,
Был бы отец выпорол.
Dad would have given you a good whipping for that.
Сейчас же выпей, а то
Come
ночью
on,
не
take
уснешь.
it, or you won't be able
Тебе
to
в школу
sleep at
завтра.
night. And you have school tomorrow. So I had to swallow the bitter medication, drinking it down with similarly awful water that gave off a taste of chlorine. I mean, I think there are worse tastes that water can have, but that ain't good. Maybe it wasn't Volvo's mitten. Maybe it wasn't a mitten at all. Just like the forest monsters and Olya's owl. Am I going mad? Not gonna lie, I think you're already there, bub. What's happening to me? Either the pill had an immediate effect, or my overexerted brain didn't let fear inside anymore. Serenity washed over me, bringing yawny indifference along with it.
Антон, выпил?
Antoine,
Можешь,
you
если
done?
захочешь.
See, you can do it when you try. What?
Раздевайся. Уснул, что ли?
Take off your coat or you asleep. Oh, hey, Fando, how you doing? Welcome to reading a visual novel and attempting to do bad Russian accents. How you doing, Fando Dando?
Нет, мам.
No, Mom,
Просто
I was just thinking. Oh my God.
Интересно, о чем же?
What about, I wonder? You procrastinating assignments? Oh boy. Oh God, that gives me flashbacks that I'd rather not think about.
Так,
It's
глупость
just
вся.
something silly. I mean, you can use me reading this as background for assignments if you really want. Mom scrutinized me with suspicious eyes, as if she wasn't as if she wasn't sure she was looking at her own son and not some doppelganger that came from the forest. Might do.
Точно все нормально?
Is everything all right?
У тебя такое лицо
You
было,
had
когда
the exact same
милиционер про окно
expression when the
спросил.
policeman asked you about the window.
Все нормально.
I'm alright, Mom. I'm just a little tired. Deep sigh. She heaved a deep sigh.
Хорошо.
Fine. Step, 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 step. Seems like the house had changed. The sofa's fabric had become discolored. I can't see any of this color because it's all in black and white. Fingerprints appeared on the bathroom tiles. The light bulbs also felt different. Dimmer and yellower. Dog vision. Ah, that's the plot twist. The boy is a dog. Wait, no, wait. I'm the dog, but he's describing color, but I'm also technically him. This kid has a piece of his brain that belongs to a dog. I am that portion of the brain, but he is that. I'm the dog. Woof woof, bark bark. No, nah. Even the saliva inside my mouth has a different taste. That is a feeling I know all too well. If I'm being honest, I've been far more in my life compared to either snakes and mostly cats, and second mostly snakes have been the animals I have been compared to in my lifetime. A melody from Aladdin could be heard from the upper floor. Snakes and yes. My favorite animal, the ladder. Second only to giraffe in height. Olya was done rewatching her favorite Little Mermaid episodes. Episodes? Alright, she's not watching the original Little Mermaid. I immediately dislike this girl a little bit more. That is beside the point. I slowly changed into my home clothes, stopped before the sink, and studied my reflection in the mirror, like I was trying to solve one of those spot the difference puzzles. Then I went upstairs. Jafar's and Lago's voices died down. Wait, is that the Russian version of Aladdin? Walked past Olya's bedroom and slipped into my own. Is that what the Russian version of Aladdin sounds like? Triceratops figurine. It's also right next to that, so, you know, it's between two things. All sorts of dinosaurs. Velociraptors. Afrovenators. I'm just imagining a dinosaur with an afro. Like a T-Rex with an afro. Afrovenators. Hypsilophodonts. I remember going to the movies to see Jurassic Park. I think it's the first no, there's been a few. What? This references a lot of things. Back when we still lived in the city. And taking pictures with the T-Rex in the hall. It turns its head and roared. Insert T-Rex scream. I swear I keep seeing movement at some... I think my eyes are just... This is just a thing of my eyes, potentially, but I feel like I keep seeing movement. Is that silhouette of boy right? Wait. Is that a silhouette of the boy behind my... Like, is he hiding behind the curtain? Is that a shadow? That shadow looks like a person. It was awesome, and next to it was a Robotech Transformer. Yep, there we go. Don't look behind the curtain. The thing is, I don't know if that's the boy or if that's another boy. Love this cartoon when a jet fighter speeds up in the intro among the sounds of blaster fire. You know your next 20 minutes will surely be amazing. The Boy. Yes, this is now an episode of The Boys. Zentradi Space Station is capture. Get ready for... What? The forest didn't look as grim during the day. Entangled tree branches in the distance and snowy field between our houses and forest brought sleepiness to my eyes. But sometimes I would still catch myself looking in the window at the icy treetops instead of doing my homework. Oh, he's a procrastinator like you too! Oh, you can relate! Pictures on wall. Dreamt of becoming an artist since Dad bought me my first comic book. That's nice. Fly magazine was the coolest. I especially liked the big space-related edition with alien monsters and that funny episode about a... Gendarme. What the fuck? You know what? I'm just gonna say it this way. For legal reasons, probably a 12-year-old boy would not be the best of company. Ow, my knee. I was adjusting myself in my chair and I hit my knee upon my desk. About gendarme. Started drawing all kinds of stuff since that day. Maybe you're a priest. Oh, God. Maybe I should change the phrasing from quote-unquote good company to they wouldn't make legal company. Unless, of course, they're your own child. I started drawing all kinds of the day, but one of my letters even got published in Fly once. Maybe someday they'll even publish my comic? Question mark? I think that's it. 'Cause I can't... Oh no, I can look at this. Monsters, ghosts, UFOs. I wonder where the superstition stuff comes from. One moment. Yeah. The Encyclopedia of Paranormal Phenomenon from Rosman Publishing. I've learned about the Loch Ness Monster, Medusa Gorgon. I have never seen Medusa referred to as Medusa Gorgon. Like, Medusa is a Gorgon, but I've never seen it worded that way. And Bigfoot from there. Olia's always scared of the book. I mean, you know what, let's be real, that book is clearly having an effect on you too. She could barely handle sifting through the monsters and alien sections with me, but the middle part, where they start to talk about ghosts, really freaked her out. Gorgon, Medusa the Gorgon. You know, that Medusa Gorgon just... The name's Gorgon. Medusa Gorgon. You know, it puts off that type of a vibe, and it's a little weird. Don't mind the noise, that's from me. Yeah, I can't move and show it, but there's a little button over here that I'm touching. Oh yeah, you can see it here. Anyway. I remember hunting ghosts after I read that book. Measured the distance between items on my table every evening and checked if they moved due to some supernatural force come the morning. I don't know what's the name of the other two Gorgons. I couldn't tell you. I could not either. Because look, let's be real. Medusa is just Medusa stole the spotlight. No one cares about very few people care about the other two, I'm willing to bet. They didn't. Like, I know they didn't was in reference to Thing, but it sounds like he's responding to me saying no one cared about the other Gorgons. Freddie Mercury on the wall. Ah! Maybe. Maybe this kid just likes Freddie Mercury. Wait. Freddie Mercury, I think this game wait. Merry Easter? Yes. Merry Easter. Even the game disses the Gorgon. Look, they heard us talking. To be honest, what was I expecting? To meet Casper the Ghost? I am, for some reason, just super surprised. Also, hi, Kelly. I'm surprised by how much stuff this game is referencing. There are so many, like, Disney references, the conversation about Jurassic Park and Transformers, Casper. It's a weird amount of stuff that the game is referencing. I've looked at everything. One of the drawers was empty. I hid the mitten in there. Indie game. Yeah, it is. Oh yeah, you weren't here for when I explained this. To find this game, I literally just went on Steam, typed in Bunny, and top result was Super Bunny Man, which probably would have been fun, but requires other people to play, and then this directly below it. Hey, Akko, how you do? War strategy. Wait, good luck. Easter-themed gaming, let's go, yes. Also, ironically, I looked up this game afterwards, and last year another VTuber did this game for Easter, and it's on the results, and I'm like, lovely. Achievement unlocked. Where are you, Volva? Simple action drained the last bit of strength from me. I collapsed on the spot. Close. I sat on the bed. And only then I noticed there was someone behind the curtains. I noticed this like 10 minutes ago, boy! My tired hand dropped to the sheets. It's Olia, isn't it? Whether it was due to medication I took or the stress I underwent, the room began to contort as if the wind was blowing the walls out like a pair of sails. The corners of the room bent and undulated. I am impressed that a 12-year-old boy knows the word undulate. The only stable thing in the whole room was the figure between the windowsill and the curtains. A flimsy piece of cloth was stuck to my hidden visitor. It reminded me of burial sheets. It's your dead grandmother!
Оля,
Oh yeah. Who else would be standing there? I stood up and licked my dried up lip. Okay, licking his own lips. How to never seem to talk like children's areas. Not gonna lie, I sadly have not paid too much attention to that.
Оля, очень смешно.
Hey, Olya, it's not so funny. I mean, there was the conversation earlier about him exaggerating certain things about fears in school, so he's got some type of thought processes that I'm just like, yeah, that can make sense, but it is a little wordy. Silhouette was unmoving. It was enveloped softly by the curtains, as if there was a thick layer of darkness there, not a human being. I reached towards the curtains. Ba-dum, beat, heart controlled by medication. The wind sang in the field with a chorus of voices. For a second I wanted to return to the bed, just lie down and watch the person behind the curtain, knowing full well they were looking back at me. They're looking without blinking, waiting for me to fall asleep. And that's when you tackle them. Plastic rings rustled against the holder when I pulled open the curtains. Oh my god. I mean, the silhouette looked like her.
Да я сразу понял, что это ты.
I knew it was you from the beginning. And I just spat all over my keyboard. The forces were present in question, believe it or gravity. Yes. Oh, yeah, jump scare. Not as good as the wolf jump scare from earlier that I don't think you were here for. A blindingly bright halo lit up above Olya's head, with the setting sun as the background. My sister was shining. You know, at least she's not petrified scared anymore of the owl. When she was just a baby, Dad always used to say she was shining with happiness. Man, where did that go? So young and already everything positive is gone from her. I was retorted, but Dad, she's not some flashlight. I don't know. I don't know, Heavy. Oh god, okay, Fando, do not say I know exactly what you miss. Oh god, I know exactly what you read that as. The Sonic murder game. Probably not. What, the EXE Sonic or a different Sonic game, Callie? My mind immediately went to, have you ever tried to use her as a flashlight, you know? Like, just, you know, boop her nose and see if it shines a beam? A murder mystery game with Sonic. Oh my god. Just pick her up and point her at the basement. No, you gotta boop the snoot to turn the flashlight on. Sonic. That is amusing, and enough to potentially pique my interest if I ever remember it after this moment. But I brought her to the window one day and sunlight poured on her smiling face. I felt like I was holding a light-woven child. No, the Child of Light is Aurora, and that's a different game.
А я все видела.
I saw everything.
Да ну,
Oh, really?
что ты спрятал?
What did you hide? It's a wet mitten. You know, Callie, I wonder if it's, you know, it's... I'm remembering our conversation about Transformers and the Transformers movie that killed off Optimus Prime. I wonder if it's like that. It's like, well, Sonic ain't selling well nowadays. Just put him in the ground and see what people do. She was just like my mom when she was little, before she put on her sad mask of tiredness and switched to her commanding tone of voice. Big words for
Ничего,
child.
Просто
Bring out Sonic. Metal Sonic is the new main character of the Sonic franchise. Shadow doesn't even get that role. It's nothing, just Olya ran up to the table, her eyes round, and asked,
Ты что-то украл и теперь прячешь?
"You stole something and hid it there.
Ты вор?
Are you a thief?" No, just delusional.
Глупая.
What? Don't be stupid. I need to remember, he's kind of on the edge of sleep right now because of medication and stress.
Ничего я не
I
крал.
didn't steal anything. Okay, I'm giving him more of a drunken voice. Clear image came to mind. That mitten hanging from a tree branch. Okay. What if I did steal it after all? This is the same concept of like finding change on the ground. You did not that's not stealing, cuz if it is, oh boy, I'm a big time thief. From the forest, from the tilted figure standing behind the black trees. Look, Slenderman has many appendages. I'm absolutely positive one mitten isn't going to make much of a difference. He's got all the ghostly tentacles. I don't think missing one mitten is going to hurt him too bad. Olya could be selfish and stubborn when she wanted.
Покажи тогда.
And show me.
Поклянись, что никому не скажешь. Тогда покажу.
Don't be mean to Slenderman. Look, if he loses one of his tentacles to frostbite, he's got like 12 more. He can be fine. Swear you won't tell anyone, then I'll show you. I'm just gonna... We're just gonna zoom in on that face for a little bit. And now we're moving on. Olya wore a plotting smile. Ah, yes, that's how you describe it.
Клянусь маминым сердцем.
Anytime someone says something like that, like, I swear on mom's heart, my mind immediately goes to, oh damn, you must not value their life very much. She's creepy. When she has this face, yes. An oath she heard in one of those movies about the pioneers we've watched. So many movie references. You swear on their life to kill... Yeah, that's actually... No, you swear on the life of someone who you hate secretly, but everyone else thinks you love, so you, A, can break the promise, and then when you kill the other person as penance, it's like, well, I swore on their life, they're dead now, and the swear was broken, their life was broken. Double, win-win. Olya nodded and made a gesture with her hand, locking her mouth with an imaginary key. Ah, the whole zip lock. Bye-bye. She was filled with curiosity that was splashing in her giant eyes. If her eyes have so much... Well, she does cry a lot. That does make sense as to why her eyes can splash. Opened the drawer and Olya leaned in, holding her breath. It looked like there was not just a simple mitten, but some sort of exotic critter. I mean, that looks like a mitten to me.
Это чья-то варежка?
Is it someone's mitten? She said that as if she couldn't understand what she saw. I mean, to be fair, a big deal was made of it, so it's
Один мальчик
confusing.
потерял. И сам потерялся.
A certain boy lost it and got lost himself.
Теперь понимаешь, как
Now you
опасно
don't
гулять в
understand
лесу,
how
особенно
dangerous it
детям.
is for kids to wander into the forest, right? Oh. Now you do... What?
Ему,
He must be
наверное,
really
там очень
cold out there.
холодно.
Man, I got a living skill drain while adding... Yeah, yeah. Okay, Cal, I'm just trying to read chat at the same time at the moment. So, I continue to not know as much about Yu-Gi-Oh! As people seem to think for some reason.
Его найдут?
Will they find him?
Обязательно.
They will. Man, this child has a large amount of confidence.
Участковый по домам ходит.
Police are
всем
going house to
фотографии
house,
показывает.
showing his photo to everybody. Is it just me, or is there eyes and something else in that... One moment. Is it just me, or is there something down there? Like, right here. Is it just me, or does that look like something? Oh, no, it was... Oh, okay, it was just a part of that. Anyway, Leah traversed the room with care and pressed her tiny palms against the window. No, she is just looking at it. The Rorschach illusion, yeah, that's probably it, and the game has already referenced them, so I'm sure there are those types of things kind of littered throughout. And why are they going to the houses and not the forest? Probably because they value their own lives over that child. Are they scared? Maybe. Question caught me off guard. The police aren't scared of anything. No, they are in fact still human. And they probably have their own set of fears. They've already scouted the forest. Yeah, right, flashed in my clouded mind. Did they really check every nook and cranny where darkness, cold, and whispers of icy branches dwell? Look, I have a suggestion if they really want to find the child. It may not be the most efficient way to find the child, but just go through the forest and, just maybe take the whole forest down. Child's life deforestation. Child's life deforestation. If that's the case, how did they miss the mitten? Actually, you know what? Fair point. Or did it appear later, for me? The spirits of the forest just like, you look like you could use a mitten. Here, take this mitten. You trolley problem. You do nothing, and the... Well, a screw cap just came out of my chair. Where did you fall? Wait, there you are. Let me pop that back in right there. Mayonnaise is an instrument of destruction. Depends on if you make someone drown in it. I changed the topic. As if trying to get Olya as far away as possible from the forest thicket. We may get a reward if I go and find this boy by myself. Oh my god, why are you still on about that fantasy? God, this kid has a death wish. A lot of stuff, like in the Wheel of Fortune. Add that to the list of things this game is referencing. I have not thought of Wheel of Fortune in I don't know how many years. Sounds cool, right? It sounds unrealistic, and once again, like you just have a death wish that you don't have fulfilled yet. Olya wasn't listening to me. She was piercing the forest with incredibly adult eyes. She is your younger sister, and you are 12. Uncharacteristic for her. Yes, very uncharacteristic for a however old she is. Was her age ever stated? What if the owl got him? There's a few things. Nonsense. Buddy, you're starting to lose your mind. You can't call nonsense. An owl wouldn't be able to lift a human. The boy was young. Owls can be big. If owl big enough, grab with claws, lift, and go bye-bye. Or if, a few owls... I'm thinking of the logistics of an owl carrying a child. But you know what? I was picking my words with utmost care. I forced them out of my overexerted brain. Stay away from the forest. I think it's... How should I put it? Cursed or something. A lot of things about the situation are cursed, if I'm being completely honest. Just like a fairy. Why did the... Wait. Her face doesn't betray this, but I swear the person doing the voice sounded mildly excited. Just like a fairy tale? No, more like that spooky tape our parents hide from us. Olya shivered and stole a glance at the window. I saw you running away. Someone was chasing you? Question mark? Yeah, no, find bits of bread into the forest and a whole candy house. And also a nice warm room to take a long nap in. No, it's just I was hurrying back home so Mom wouldn't be worried. Huh? As I looked at my sister, my head was tearing apart. Buddy, just lay down in bed and go to sleep. You really need that. She was so fragile. It was so easy to stifle her light. Ah, so she's a very fragile flashlight. A gust of wind and her small fire would be gone. Wait, she was a flashlight earlier. Why is she a fire now? Keep your metaphors the same. You can't boop a fire on the nose to turn it on.
Хорошо тебе.
You're lucky.
Меня вот мама не
Mom won't
пускает
even
даже
let me
на
go
улицу.
outside. She didn't let him go outside either. He just kinda went yoink.
Как принцесса в башне сижу.
Like a princess in the tower, can't go anywhere. Well, you know what? The one princess I think of who is locked in a tower is Rapunzel, so you know what you have to do. Grow that hair out and wait for someone to climb it.
Так и умру тут от скуки.
I'll die from boredom here.
Не придумывай.
You're wrong.
От скуки еще
No one
никто
has
не
ever
умирал.
died of boredom. And then hit him with a frying pan? Exactly. That's exactly how you get a man to love you.
У тебя же есть я и мультики.
And you have
Мама с
me
папой
and your
скоро
cartoons, and
появятся.
Mom and Dad will be good. And Mom and Dad will be good to each other soon. Don't promise things that you cannot deliver. What? Let me just quote Cortana here. Don't make a girl a promise if you know you can't keep it. And Mom and Dad will be good to each other soon. You know, separated could be seen as good. The word that you refer to as the D word, divorce. That can also be them being good to each other because they then respect each other's space.
Знаешь, что бы я загадала на следующий
You
день
know
рождения?
what I would wish for on my next birthday?
Чтобы
Wish for
родители
Mom and
тоже
Dad
в
to
детей
turn into
превратились.
children so we can
И мы
go
бы
and
все
play
вместе
together like we
играли,
used to.
как раньше.
That is...
Ага. А
Yeah.
если бы они стали
And if you'd
размером с
make them
жуков,
as small as
золотых
bugs, we
спичечных
could place them
коробок
into a
посадили.
little box. You'd probably accidentally step on them. Oh, Jesus. Olya giggled and tugged at my sleeve.
Пойдем Аладдина
Tosha,
смотреть.
let's go watch Aladdin. Okay, don't actually play the Russian version of Aladdin. I don't want to have to censor this for copyright. Fatigue won over. My desire to be with my little sister was washed over by some sort of heinous apathy.
Вымотался я.
I'm too
Что-то не
tired. I
хочется.
don't want to. And frown.
Ну пойдем.
Come on.
Мне скучно.
So
одной,
bored
давай
alone and Mom's always
посовещаемся
busy.
время.
Look, just go sleep in her room while you watch Aladdin and it'll be
Можно
fine.
выбрать другой мультик,
We can
который
pick
ты
a
еще
cartoon
не
you haven't
видел.
seen before.
Я все наши кассеты
I know all of her
наизусть
tapes by
знаю.
heart at this point.
А вот и не все.
Not all of them. You haven't
Ты
watched
Питера
Peter Pan.
Пэна
How?
не видел.
How of all of them is Peter Pan one you have not seen?
Помнишь, ты уснул на середине?
Remember how you fell asleep in the middle of it?
Там потом
And
такое.
so much happens after that.
Пойдем. Давай попозже.
Maybe
Рассказать тебе, чем все закончилось?
should I tell you how it ends? No.
Утром
Leave
расскажешь.
that for tomorrow.
Утром не захочу.
I won't tell you tomorrow.
Придумала.
Let's
давай
hide and
спрячь.
seek.
Нет, Оля.
No, just let him sleep. He's very tired.
Тогда нарисуй мне динозавра.
And throw me a die. Oh my. This is very. You know what? This is just standard sibling being annoying to each other thing. I feel.
Оля,
Oh yeah, please.
нарисуй,
Draw-
нарисуй.
oh my Try it. Try it.
Да оставь ты меня в покое.
Okay, you didn't have to get all with the leave me alone already. But without thinking, and then I was immediately taken aback. I'd never screamed at my little sister like that. Olya stared back at me in shock. Lips started trembling. A precursor to tears. My chest was seething with disgust and embarrassment. What's happening to me? You are very tired, and this type of stuff happens when tired. I hurried to prevent Olya from crying.
Ладно, уболтала. Давай смотреть
Then
мультики.
let's go watch cartoons for a bit.
Уже не хочу.
Yeah, no, you crossed the line there, bub. I don't want to. I came to her, put my hand on her soft head. Let's go.
Питера Пэна
What?
посмотрим.
Let's go watch Peter Pan. He'll probably fall asleep in the middle of it again.
Ага, ты опять уснешь.
Yeah, exactly what I said. I smiled and lifted her chin. Her eyes were wet and felt bottomless. You did just yell at a small child.
Не усну, обещаю.
Let me just cite the don't make a girl promise if you know you can't keep it thing again.
А потом я тебе целого
I'll
трицератопса
draw you a
нарисую.
full triceratops later. Happy child. Trice.
Ну,
Close
почти.
enough. Hey! Suddenly, wait, I don't get the JoJo here. Olya rubbed her eyes with the sleeve of her pajamas, and a shining smile returned to her face.
Давай ты пока кассету перемотаешь.
Oh,
Мама попрошу сгущенку.
oh, Ora, I get you. Ah, reference understood now. I just heard it as happy child noises. I didn't think of the strong muscular men. I'll go ask Mom for condensed milk and bread, and you can rewind the tape.
Только утром
Bread's
свежий.
fresh just how you like it. Yay,
Неси,
fresh
только
bread.
аккуратнее, а то разольешь.
Just be careful not to spill them. Just be careful not to spill the milk. I think you need to be more careful, or you'll be yelled at again.
Spорим, не разолью.
Wanna bet I won't spill it? Look, that face does not give me confidence.
Кассета где-то
Tape
в
is somewhere in the
тумбочке.
nightstand.
Поищи пока.
Look for it. Well, you disappeared into the doorway, and I dragged my feet into the neighboring room. Somewhere in cabinet. Oh, the room with the or Oh, it's just all the toys. Did you miss a lot? I forget. Did you leave right before, like, or right after what? Did you? It was the scene with the culty. Was it the scene with the culty dancing stuff? Did you see the? Kuda, were you here for the BRB or no? Those are just, there's been voice acting for the whole thing. It's just all in Russian. It's just very much just all in Russian. Well, there's countless toys. An old teddy bear is the main attraction here. Olya doesn't sleep without it. And she digs her nose into the fur while she sleeps. The dancing animals. Oh, okay, yeah, you missed a fox thing. A shadow fox in the house. Wait, and that was a dream. Next day, missing child. And Mitten was found hanging from a tree in the forest. And the 12-year-old boy hallucinated that it was dripping in blood, but it was actually just wet. A piggy bank. Oh yeah, saving money for a real puppy because Dad said that taking care of him will take a lot of money. Heard your voice throughout before. I am kind of reading over it because I don't know, actually, because I know there are some... I've had some people with Russian who type Russian in the chat. Very, very rarely. Like, no one regularly, but... I mean, I just kind of read it because I kind of go off the assumption that not a lot of people in here understand Russian. Karasho? They're saving money for a real puppy because Dad said that taking care of him will take a lot of money. Oh, child, the piggy bank will not do that. What is the other thing? Window. The scary window where Olya sees the accursed owl every night, lurking in the dark. Olya keeps curtains open during the day, but as soon as twilight comes, she shuts them tight so she won't see the pair of hungry eyes outside. Is there anything else? TV time. Why does this look so much higher detail than like everything? Like this looks like a picture of an actual TV stand that was just put into the style. That's kind of unsettling. Photon TV was gathering dust in the corner. It's very... Yeah, it is a picture that's just put into the straight... It feels like it anyway. Oh god, I just... Actually, wait a minute. No, you can see the kid's reflection in it. That caught me off guard a little bit. All that was left was clicking the button on the front panel. Don't show anything from Peter Pan, otherwise. Oh. It's words. Very simple words in Russian. Ah. I can speak gibberish, and that is the closest thing. Also, I'm turning that down because that static is a little bit loud. There we go. Tube warmed up and a familiar white noise started dancing on the black screen. I almost reached out to... Oh my god, I apologize for photosensitivity. When the noise calmed down and a blurry image appeared for a moment. It was a dark forest just like the one outside the window. Picture split the screen in half. Something creepy resembling human speech was coming out of the speaker. Yeah, no. I wish there... Were this a video, I probably would have put a photosensitivity warning on there. Oh god, it's back. Tab out, tab out. I'll let you know when it's back. Just keep listening. Just a few minutes later, the screen was again overshadowed by noise. Did it catch some rogue signal? Local TV station only really showed Soviet cartoons, and even that was pretty rare. Regarding VHS tape? He's supposed to be finding Peter Pan and putting it in, and only just recently I used to always watch Robotech before school. It was awesome. Okay, Fando, if you're tabbed out and listening, it is back to a zoomed out version of the static, so it shouldn't be as intense. Maybe I should tinker with the antenna. What if I catch this channel again? On the other hand, Olya had asked me to find the tape. Wouldn't be nice to disappoint her. But in my sleepy state, I didn't have the strength to do all of it. Oh. Oh, wait a minute. Fiddle with signal. So yeah, I'm just gonna put Peter Pan in. Yeah, just no problem. Like I said, if it was video, I would have just. Most of these are sifted through the shelves, full of dolls and blue hippos from Kinder Surprise. Wouldn't be that hard. I mean, when all the tapes are like this nondescript. Found the tape I needed thanks to its shabby spine. Black rectangle from its box. Achievement unlocked, Neverland. Tape inside it, Russell rewinded the beginning. The rustle was lulling me to sleep. Drowsiness attacked me while I was squatting before the TV. Oh god, it's back, Fando, tab out, tab out, tab out! Images whirl in my head and Olya flying... Wait. Images whirled in my head. Me and Olya were flying above the forest, tumbling in soft clouds. My little sister is laughing, but her smile becomes more and more forceful with every passing second. I notice the clouds underneath us part, bearing their bristly pine tops. Swampy darkness slurped among the trees. The wings are no longer able to hold us and Olya.
Ты не смотришь без меня?
You haven't started without me, have you? Fando, we are away from the static. It is safe to tab back in. My sister brought a tray with unevenly cut bread and a whole can of condensed milk. I rub my eyes. No, come sit.
Мама с папой
Mom and
опять
Dad are arguing again. I mean, this is quite the regular thing. Sadly, this is kind of a thing you need to get used to. This game insists some punishing senses. I did actually, okay, I read a little bit of in the reviews and I did get warned that there are some photosensitivity scenes. Maybe I should have put like a thing in the description or something, but I didn't know how it would come up, so I think me just yelling at yelling photosensitivity tab out is best result. Mom and Dad are
У
arguing
них
again.
сейчас период такой.
They're going through rough times.
глупый какой-то.
Rough times are lame. I agree. They're lame. They should screw off. Screw rough times. On the screen, Wendy was hiding Peter Pan's shadow into the dresser. Olya was entertained by the cartoonish dog Nana. Oh my god. That you understand 30 to 50% of the words, you know. I can technically say I understand the words too, because, you know, I can technically say this is the translation.
Может, и нам
Oh,
родители
okay.
собачку купят?
Maybe mom and dad will buy us a dog too. You know what? This is a weird version. Is that supposed to be the crocodile? That's supposed to be the crocodile that ate Hook's hand. Captain Hook has seen better days.
Ага.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the comprehension is white rock.
В Неверленде у
I
меня
love my
будет
own
своя
dog in the
собственная
Neverland.
собака.
And cat
кошка.
and parrot.
И попугайчик.
Olya smeared a slice of bread with thick layer of condensed milk and handed it to me.
А у тебя все молочные зубы выпали?
Let's copy there for making Hook. Look, no, this crocodile picture. The crocodile picture looks like a plastic toy. Tinkerbell looks fine in silhouette, and Captain Hook has seen better days. Yeah, and like you said, it probably looks mildly homeless. I keep playing with the mic stand of this stream, and I really hope it's not putting too many noises through. Have you lost all of your baby teeth?
Конечно.
Why do you say obviously? I'm relatively certain there are people who don't lose their baby teeth at 12, or haven't lost all of them at 12. Bread with condensed milk tastes very good if you have the right bread. I have never tried it, so I will thank you for that advices. Don't notice the mic stand thing? Oh, good, I can continue to fidget with me playing with my mic stand and it doesn't affect anything. If I'm not talking, it apparently makes a noise. I've seen it pop up, but... Olya frowned, deep in thought.
У Питера Пэна зубы молочные.
Peter Pan has baby teeth. That's because he literally refuses to grow up because of magic.
Вдруг со взрослыми зубами тебя не
What if
пустят
they
в
won't
его
let
страну?
you go to his land with adult teeth? The way kids think.
Мы что-нибудь обязательно
We'll think of
придумаем.
something. Look, if the problem is having adult teeth, all you gotta do is remove the adult teeth, and you work around it.
Попросим папу исправить
Ask
тебе
Dad to
возраст в
alter your
паспорте.
age in the passport. The way child mind work. Like, if the passport says a different age, then the magical rules of Neverland will let you in. Oh, the mind of a
С чего это
child.
папа будет документы
Then why
подделывать?
would Dad forge documents? Olya took a bite from the sandwich and started talking with her mouth full.
Будет, будет.
Your
Мама
world,
говорила, что он так
your
делает.
whole
А я подслушала.
Mom, they did that before. Wait, they've done that before? Child mind don't work? No, it just works in mysterious ways. The way... There's a difference between working and being fully functional. They work for just in all the wrong ways, and they learn.
Смотри,
They'll
уши
grow
вырастут,
ears
как у
as big
Дамбо.
as Dumbo's. Wait, what? Where did that come from? Well, you got worried and touched her ears. I smiled to myself. I really hope that's... What? The sisters were silent. Now she just devoured bread, watching the adventures of Peter Pan, Tinkerbell, and James Hook. Why do... Okay, this is maybe just a me thing. I never called him by his actual name. He was always just Captain Hook. Child equal God confirmed? Yes. As if she was sucked into the fairy tale of Neverland. To be honest, I also imagine myself there in a land where one never ages, where no one argues over little things, where no one listens to fights and sounds of broken plates at night. I know I've heard it before, but I've never called him by it. Also, screen go black. Screen go black. Oh, what the? What? I tabbed out and she showed up for a little bit. Okay, that's interesting. I'm gonna do a quick BRB before continuing this. I think a random fade to black screen is as good a time as any to do BRB, so real quick, switch over to the BGM. And one second. He's fairly up it. I never knew his first name either, but okay. Altered time on my child made myself have more free time by putting the clock 2 hours. Oh, children's minds are clever, if nothing else. But yeah, I'm gonna do a quick be right back and then continue because black screen seemed like a good time to do that. Be right back. Okay. I am back, and I have slightly less skin on my kneecap now. Because upon standing up, I gouged my knee on the corner of desk number 2. Why am I like this? Why am I like this? I almost wish I hadn't muted my mic when I got up so you could hear the thwunk and my ow. Thankfully, it's not bleeding, but there is definitely skin missing from my kneecap. Either way, back to the black screen. Where no one listens to fights and the sound of broken plates at night. Broken plates at night? How bad do your parents' fights get? I felt like I was dreaming with my eyes still open. Buddy, your eyes have been closed for a while. Then my sister's scream pulled me back to reality.
Тоша, скорее,
The
шторы
curtain.
задерни!
What?
Зачем?
Why?
Никто же на тебя
No
не
one's watching
смотрит.
you. Please.
Уже темно.
It's
Когда
dark.
темнеет, прилетает сова.
And it's dark. And when it's dark, the owl comes.
Я боюсь.
I'm scared. Okay, that does look vaguely like an eye out there. I got out of bed, fighting my drowsiness, and closed the curtains. Close them? I did my best not to look outside. Toward the treetops, toward the taiga forest, which seemingly drew closer and closer. Of course, it was just a visual effect from shadows of branches scraping the snow.
Тоша, мама
Tasha,
думает, что я
Mom thinks I
напридумывала
made the
про
owl
сову.
up,
И папа
and Dad
считает,
too
что
thinks
раз я
I'm a liar
маленькая,
since
то
I'm
значит
small. That
дружка.
I don't know if that's liar or if that's just your imagination being very hyperactive.
А сова
But
есть.
the owl exists.
Вот честно,
Honestly,
есть
it does.
она. Ты же мне веришь,
You do believe me, right?
что она там
That it comes
каждую
every
ночь
night and
прилетает и...
Hey, cool pop, how you do? I swiftly grabbed Olya's hand and looked her in the eyes. I was trying to transfer at least some of my courage and determination. Maybe transfer some of your drowsiness to help her sleep. You know, you've got a ton of that. But did I really have those qualities? No, but you have sleepiness. Give her that.
Я тебе верю,
Yes.
слышишь?
I believe you, alright?
Ты только родителям больше не
Just
рассказывай
don't
про
nag
сову.
our parents about it anymore.
У них и так хлопот.
They're already
по горло,
dealing with a
они
lot,
так
so
рассердятся.
they'll just get mad at you.
Ты мне говори, если что случится.
Come and tell me if anything happens. Buddy, you have a lot going on. And don't look out the window.
Ну, она хочет,
But it
чтобы
wants
я
me to look.
смотрела.
Wait, you're afraid of it. It wants you to look. You don't want to look. Wait, what? Child brain.
Перехочет.
Doesn't matter.
Притворись, что ее
Act
нет и
like
не
it
было
doesn't
никогда,
exist
что она
and
выдумка,
never
как
existed.
родители
Like it's
говорят.
made up. Just like Mom and Dad say.
Ей ждать надоест,
I'll
она
try.
улетит.
I'll get tired of. It'll get tired of waiting and fly away. Are you sure that's how it'll work? What? Where'd she go? This is her room. Where'd she go? Oh, we're back to watching Peter Pan. Follow Peter Pan's adventures as if nothing happened, as if the forest didn't kidnap kids, as if our parents weren't tearing each other apart bit by bit. Ah, yes, the whole game that a child must play called Act Like the World Isn't Burning Around You. Captain Hook was running away from a crocodile and Wait. I think this is a translation error. Was running away from her. Oh, no. Captain Pant, because the way it ends, he takes Captain Hook. Yeah. Headed to London on a gilded sailboat. By some miracle, I lasted longer than my little sister. Olya's eyelids had drooped. She started snorting lightly, resting her chin on the side of the bed. I stood up and left Olya's room. You should probably turn the TV off. Snoring. Wait, was the word snoring brought up? Or did I misspeak? I probably misread something. I was looking out the window, studying the field, when Mom peeked into my room. Oh,
Довольно баловства.
enough playing around. Wait, snort? Wait, what? It said snorting. Wait, what did I... Wait, when did it say that? When did it say?
Завтра первый день в школе.
It's our first day at school tomorrow. Alright, school's the
Ложись, тебе
thing.
надо
Go to
выспаться.
bed. You should sleep properly.
Не хочешь же ты, чтобы тебя все дразнили
You don't want
сонным?
to be teased for being sleepy, right? Oh, trust me, this kid is worried about being teased a lot. Okay. Apparently I misread some word there that I already forgot. If you would like some insight into how my brain works, specific words go in and out. And she was snorting lightly. Wait! Snorting lightly? Interesting choice of words there. Adults think everything is so simple. No. No. As if sound sleep would ensure my classmates would like me. Translate error, I'm willing to bet. Doing some you know what? Whatever helps you sleep, I guess. This mother wants them to sleep, they will sleep. I covered myself with a blanket up to my neck and listened to the house humming, to something invisible rustling in the corners. My inner voice had a question for me. Do I want to hear the mysterious flute again? Probably not! Yes or no? I thought it was going to ask me to choose that one. Maybe it's just a part of growing up and I can't fully understand my own desires. The forest wailed behind the barrier that was my walls. Some ethereal energy wandered the fields. Branches shook as if calling for me. The wind howled and held on and on in the night. My thoughts were like annoying flies that entered my head before becoming weak and tangled. I didn't notice how I fell into slumber. It has come after all? The day I feared most. Oh, okay. Yep, we're talking about school stuff. Yeah, screw the supernatural stuff. School is terrifying. Episode 2. How long has the stream been going? Episode 2. Time to play with you. For reference, I know there are currently 3 chapters available. One moment. 2, 30, 19, around that. I'm debating if I want to go through chapter 2, because there are 3 chapters currently. Long chapters? I mean, that's kind of a good thing, because, you know, content for the money. The game is not free, I'm just gonna say that. So, you know, content for the money. And currently 3 chapters are out. I don't know how long ago chapter 3 came out. But I think it's been a while. Save? Is there a save option? Oh, there is a save option. Oh my god, I'm so used to like autosave stuff. Thank you, Kuda, for that. I didn't realize that wasn't automatically happening. Whoops. You know what? I am just gonna keep going and see how long I go. New school, new teachers, most importantly, new classmates who I always have trouble connecting with. Oh my god, I have OBS covering like half of chat right now. It's just gonna make you skinny, scooch you. Oh my god, OBS was been wide this whole time. I am dumb. Like most other kids with glasses, probably. Man, this kid really, insecure about the glasses. Yeah, reminded us of the thing. It would have been devastating if it crashed. Oh my god. I mean, to be fair, if it crashed, then we enter speedrun mode, which is me just going, alright, time to download an auto clicker. The best way to speedrun visual novels in auto clicker. I forced myself to get out of my warm bed. Dad would usually drive me to my old school, but this morning, the bedroom of my parents was silent. Did they sleep in? Maybe it was a good thing. Or maybe you're dreaming and I'm about to get jump scared by something. I didn't want to get the daddy's boy reputation from day one. My parents were probably still tucked in, dreaming about the good old days, when everything was so simple and easy. It would. I mean, the dad is already a literal embodiment of the Giga Chad, so there's already plenty of memes. Sweet dreams, even if far removed from reality. I silently sneaked out to the first floor so I wouldn't wake anybody, especially the peacefully sleeping Olya. Giga Chad. Oh, I did my best to step in the middle of every floorboard. The darker lighting here. Why is it so dark right now? This is actually very mildly uncomfortable. Used to play like this even in our old apartment. If my soles touched the space between floorboards, it counted as stepping into good old floor is lava. The clock was spurring me on with its hands. I need to hurry. Faster, faster. I was too fast. I needed to circle the hallway once again. What? Oh, he's still talking about the floor is lava from younger childhood. Boiling lava was bursting out of the crack between the floorboards. I needed to watch my step to survive at any cost. Hippity hop. Hippity hop. Like a frog jumping on molehills. Like a fearful bunny in a grove full of wolves. Made a sandwich in the kitchen, shoved it down my throat, and drank it down with cold tea. It still seems like it's basically night outside. I don't know what's going on here. My appetite was as good as of someone being led up the scaffold towards a guillotine. What, as good as of? Is that any... Okay, is that proper wording? And I stupid, or is that improper translation? I lowered my gaze and saw that one of my feet was standing on two floorboards at the same time. Burnt to a crisp, huh? So down... Oh, big mouth. I moved my foot. Disgusting little snakes withered in my belly. Of seems superfluous? Okay, I'm not crazy. Thank you, Fando. This isn't perfect, yes, but at least this game has the excuse of it's a mistranslation, unlike some games I've played where they just don't English good. Disgusting little snakes writhed in my belly, the fear of getting hit and being called nasty names. Oh my, you are still on about the schools? Yeah, no. The clock clicked. I need to go. It was dark outside, fitting for an early winter morning. The darkness never fully left the houses around here. Tell you something is written badly. I mean, this one, at least it wasn't in a super intense moment. It's literally he's making breakfast and attempting to sneak out the door. Took my time tying my shoes, buttoning up the puffy down jacket, trying to delay my unpleasant exit into the semi-dark, into the unnerving unknown. I rubbed my glasses for good luck, though I couldn't remember a single time these thick pieces of glass brought me any good fortune. They bring you good eyesight. I'd say that's pretty fortunate. The sky was akin to a giant bruise. That's a way to look at that. On the east side of it, a black cloud was swelling up. It licked the stars from the sky and extinguished the rising sun. Darkness was plastered all over the treetops. The cautious cries of birds got tangled up in the thicket. Always the crooked tree? Yes. The cautious cries of birds got tangled up in the thicket. I locked the front door with a long key that I wore around my neck. That's probably not a very secure place to keep that. My parents made me wear this noose, afraid that I, being a total klutz that I am, could lose the key otherwise. You did drop a spoon within 5 seconds of this game starting, so yeah, no, I understand where they're coming from. The wind wheezed on the other side of the gate. It invited me into my new life, towards dubious adventures, and tagged alone like an old buddy, pushing me in the back. Wide shadows that pines throughout covered a third of the clearing. Upon reaching the edge of the forest, I hid my nose in the coat's collar. I was squeezing through the thin firebreak, my hair ruffled up and my back hunched over. The tall trees stood on both sides of the tiny trail. Yeah, no, it's a pretty cursed forest. Very cursed forest. Also, this the same... Didn't realize there was a path going through this forest, I'll put it that way. Patches of my head. They aren't pine trees. I think there are some pine trees somewhere. He describes them as pine trees. I just think... You know what? I don't know what to think. Let's be real here. Snowy blanket rustled under my feet, and the canopy of intertwined branches above my head cut me off from the already sparse starlight. I think some of them are pines. We're just not seeing the pines. The night had no plans of moving away from the forest. In this darkness, trees reminded me of shaggy old women that smelled of burial earth. That is... very confusing way to describe these trees. The pine are the one... Yeah, is a straight tall... If I'm not... Yeah, like Christmas tree style type thing. Effectively. Just bigger. Very big. But they... forests can have, you know, variety of trees, so not seeing any of them here. Like that, Oh, yeah, there's, like, this one right here is pine, so they're at least represented, but this is the line closer. Their trunks turned into cracked, wrinkled faces, with holes in the middle as their mouths. If I lost focus even for a moment, mold-covered witches would drag me into the forest depths. Then my parents would be walking around these parts screaming my name, but the dead can't answer the living. Hi, Grandma! Or can they? Hello, dancing silhouette cult. Yeah, okay, yeah, there are pines. A sense of panic was growing in my chest. I was fine with Dad carrying me into the school in his hands by now if it saved me from watching the darkness rise up like the ravines, like Black Door. Felt like someone jumped into the bushes behind me, so I turned around. As soon as I started walking faster, I heard the snow squeak behind me. The forest took a deep breath with its giant lungs. The windfall cracked. The wind and the birds were left behind in the field. Now I could only hear the forest creak. I walked, listening closely, and the unseen presence grew stronger, as if someone was following me, trying to match the pace of my footsteps. I turned my head so fast I made my neck crunch. I know that feeling all too well. A tiny trail behind me disappeared into the darkness. That trail is what you've been walking, and leads you home. Tree branches overlapped, forming a natural tunnel. It was so confusing. I wonder how much of that is translation issue, if I'm being honest.
Есть здесь кто?
Who was there? Question escaped my lips, dissolved into the unending creaking sound of wooden idols, the pines around me. Why did I think going through the forest alone was a good idea? No idea, because every action you have taken thus far since I have known you has led me to believe you have some sort of a death wish. I'm either going mad, or someone had intentionally lured me away from home. Distant lights granted me a smidgen of hope. A country road. Take me home. To the place where I belong. West Virginia. I am sorry. I am sorry. Had to drink water and take a moment to regret the joke I just made. I ran there as fast as I could, as if afraid that the trail will shrink. Clawed hands will grip me by the shoulders, turn me around, and make me look at the faces of hungry forest denizens. In the end, nobody stopped me. I almost flew to the decrepit wooden bridge. Disbelieving my luck, The bridge's supports bathed in a spring, tarry and ice cold. I put my hands on my knees and looked up at the forest, then snorted, trying to calm my breathing. The thicket was pretending to be asleep. It looked peaceful, lifeless. The remaining part of my commute lied through a snow-laden road illuminated by sparse lamplights. Well, at least you have light. Oh my god, civilization, not just endless forest! I chased away bad thoughts and ran as fast as I could from one circle of light to another, seeking protection from electric lamps. Just like in that game, where you need to be the first to proclaim, "I'm protected." It's just last. You know what? I'm just gonna go until I get too tired. Is my plan. And I don't know if I'm gonna follow up the. I don't know. This is kind of fun. Just like in the. It's just in this case that protection was flimsy at best, with darkness writhing outside its bounds. What? Then I noticed something remarkably eerie and wet-sounding. In a place where the light from an inclined lamp couldn't reach, a hairy, crooked shadow came alive with a guttural roar. Nope, that is the sound of lip smacking. Oh. It almost felt like its features deterred light. Its unnatural pose instilled fear. There was nothing unnatural about being hunched over by. My eyes almost popped out of their sockets as I just stood there blinking, trying to chase away that illusion. But the shadow didn't disappear and even got closer. My insides are gripped by horror. I stepped back and almost fell into a snow pile. Down, bad boy. The black silhouette, on the other hand, straightened up and addressed me in a sweet voice.
Чего крадешься? Душу мою украсть хочешь?
Maybe bad girl, but you know what? Sneaking around trying to steal my soul? Words got stuck in my throat. I know that feeling. Who could be talking in such a silky voice between the forest and the dormant village?
Чего молчишь, несмышленыш?
Will you say something, dummy?
Язык вырвал.
Cat got your tongue. The words being overlapped with the growling. Alright, I'll bite off your nose then. Oh good, not a valuable part.
Будешь знать, как
I'll
собрать
teach you not to
лучший
poke in
лицо.
places it doesn't belong. A girl stood before me, judging from the voice and the silhouette. I couldn't even reprimand myself for getting scared by... Wait, really? Couldn't even reprimand myself for getting scared by a girl before noticing a gaping mouth under her hood with something dangerously shiny inside. I was stunned. Okay, funny, when you take the shadow away, it just looks silly. The cavity of her hood, a frighteningly real fox face was staring straight at me. No, it just looks like a happy fox. I just saw her jaws weren't moving and her eyes weren't blinking. A mask. Oh. It was just a girl with a fox mask on. At least I wanted to think that. After a surprise like that, a nervous smile involuntarily crept onto my face. Hallucination, reality, mask. I don't know. I was just
Просто в школу
going
иду.
to school
А
and
тут
then
ты.
you...
Что я?
What about me?
Никогда не видел, как лиса собаку кормит.
Never seen a fox feed a dog. What? And indeed, there was a small dog circling the girl's legs. One of the strays that were chasing me yesterday,
Извини,
probably.
я не хотел.
Sorry, didn't mean to. After hearing my voice, the dog whimpered, lowered its ears, sniffed me out, and then started wagging its tail. Something about this dog's face makes me mildly uncomfortable. As I still smell of bologna that I ate for breakfast. I was shifting my gaze back and forth from the dog to the girl. She didn't seem scary anymore, just weird. She didn't seem scary anymore, just weird.
Значит, не хотел. Ну-ну.
So you didn't mean to, huh?
Как тебя зовут?
What's your name?
Меня Антон,
Anton.
а тебя?
And you?
А меня нет.
And I'm not. Oh yeah, no, that definitely looks like a mask with the way the eyes are behind it. She's weird. Definitely has a couple of loose screws. You've gone from... You know what? Yep. But she has a nice voice. Those two are usually not a good combination. Her name is not. Note, yeah, take notes. This will be on the quiz. My astonishment has turned into a mix of happiness and relief. This girl I don't know was definitely human, if a bit eccentric. I was also a bit angry at myself. The foxy girl was walking through the darkness without problem, and I shuddered from every little The foxy girl. Ah, yes, that's how you describe this. I could just walk away, but this girl had piqued my interest. You have school to attend, boy. Next time police officer asks me about my friends at a new place, I'll tell him that I befriended a talking fox. You are...
Ты здесь живешь?
Do you live around here?
В поселке?
In the village? The fox giggled and purred, spun around so hard that the hem of her coat lifted up.
Нет, глупый.
No, dummy.
Лисы не
Foxes
живут
don't
в
live in
поселках.
villages.
Хочешь сказать, ты
So
живешь
you
в
live
лесу?
in the forest then?
Из какой норы
Have
ты
you been
вылез?
living under a rock? It's
Конечно.
obvious the
Лисам
foxes
среди
can't
людей не выжить.
survive anywhere near humans. Then why are you still alive, being close proximity to the child?
Пока они лисы.
As long as they're foxes. Her jokes were also weird. I don't know if these are jokes or if this is her just trying to sound profound. I need to consume water and confusion. Just like her carnival mask. Paper mache with fur glued to it. You've been living under a roof, does that count? I don't know, depends on what the roof is made of. You know, the standard roof shackling kinda feels like rock. The dog reminded us... the dog reminded us of its existence with a loud bark. Its face still looks weird to me. I unfastened... I'm sorry, just the zipper sound effect before reading. I unfastened my backpack. Dad would sometimes throw food in there without my knowledge. Cookies, apples, or even my favorite, crab sticks. He called it a gift from the bunny. The stray strolled towards me with mincing footsteps, with a pleading look in its eyes. The fox did definitely treat it to something, but it was probably still hungry.
Зачем ты так вырядилась с утра пораньше?
Why are you dressed like this so early in the morning?
На утренник идешь?
Gotta going to a costume party? The girl shrugged, throwing silvery snowflakes off her nose, and her human form along with them, turning into a genuine beast. A real fox, agile, cunning, dangerous. Yeah, no, okay. A moment of hesitation and you'll be ripped to shreds. She'll tear you up and gulp you down without breaking a sweat. I couldn't help but just stand there as a stump. Don't. Okay, nothing to be scared of still. Till I heard her calm, melodic laughter hidden underneath the beastly mask.
Видел бы ты свою маску, сладенький.
Wish you could have seen your own mess, sweetie. Yeah, no, she did say sweetie. got embarrassed, went red up to my hair roots. We'd seen a fox in a zoo once when we went there with Dad, but it had patchy fur, was gray and skinny. But this girl was a fiery color of this girl was of fiery color and furry. Yeah, no, she's definitely a furry, just like in the fairy tales. I was still rummaging through my backpack. My fingers that were searching for the dog's treat stumbled upon some soft, crumpled object.
Ничего.
You'll see.
Скоро
The real
проснутся
beast will wake up
настоящие звери.
soon.
Спроси-ка лучше у них, где
You should ask
они
them
взяли
where they
свои
got their human
человеческие лица.
faces. I figured as much. The girl's shadow was dancing in the lamp's light. The dog continues to exist. Mushroom foxes would have orange in the summer, gray in the winter. The woman mask. The dog yapped in agreement. I hadn't read that yet. I freaked out and dropped my finding in the snow without getting a proper chance to examine it. Cold wind instantly covered the hole it created in the snow. The dog rushed to dig it out, wanting to get its treat. And the fox just snorted. Now I was so embarrassed I wanted to sink through the snow. I'm sure there's a big enough pile. Just jump in, cannonball, sink in. It was still dark outside of the electric circle. On the contrary, the darkness seemed even more thick. All neighboring houses were sleeping deeply in its inkiness. Did my best to continue the conversation with the weird girl I didn't know. Okay, yep, just talk to the fox girl.
Так ты в школу идешь?
So you're going to school? How?
Ах, ну какой же
You are real. She also
дурачок.
really likes the word dummy here.
Так ничего и не понял.
Don't you get it? Welp. I was trying to be friendly, but she can't stop mocking me. That does seem to be her. Calling me dummy and all. Yep, that does seem to be her MO. Should have just moved along without paying any attention to this weirdo and her stupid dog.
А ты чего обзываешься?
Why are you so mean?
Не хочешь отвечать и пожалуйста.
Don't answer if you don't want to.
Никто не требует.
Not like I care. If you didn't care, you wouldn't have asked. Still, something froze me in place, tugged me toward the dark figure. Mysterious appearance, her voice that was velvety and just languid, I don't know what that word means, enough. I was intrigued and excited. I watched her as people watch fires burn.
Ой, да не
Oh,
дуйся.
Oh, stop pouting.
Гляди-ка лучше.
Look here.
Ты нравишься Жульке.
Oh, that must be the dog's name. Zolka took a liking to you. The dog was digging through the snow with sharp movements, snoring loudly. The fox turned around and looked at the windows of nearby houses, at its timbered front through the white mist. The tip of her fake nose was shining under the lamp's light. Yep, it is. It has the little dot on it.
Эй,
And maybe someone else too. What? Uh-huh. I went red again. No, you are perpetually gray, but keep telling yourself that. Like a boiled crayfish this time. Is she talking about herself or someone else? I hoped the semi-dark would be able to hide my embarrassment from the girl. Cleared the throat before
А
asking.
кому еще я нравлюсь?
And who's that person? Waited, counting my heartbeat. The fox didn't reply. Her sly stare was scanning the forest patterns of someone's window. Oh, the frosty patterns of someone's windows. She was reading them like a glass book. Wonder what she can see in those winter paintings. Strayed stopped rummaging through the snow, and me holding my object in her jaws. A mitten. Could it be the one I found in the forest? How did that get into the backpack? What was it doing here? When I got closer, I realized it was just my mitten. why were you not wearing it? As if it's the folktale. Yeah, no, that's kind of what I'm. Yeah, you know, Sly Fox type stuff. You don't trust them. Realize it was just my mitten. Maybe Mom stuffed it in there while I was asleep. Certain missing boy immediately came to mind.
Эй, ты знаешь что-нибудь про Вову?
Do you know anything about Vova? I imagine the scene. Silhouettes dancing in the clearing. Yep, we going back through that. The dance on the night when Vova had disappeared. A boy who, when found, can provide a... You're still living in the fantasy world of being some big being a rewarded detective for finding this child, even though, again, this is likely just gonna get you killed or worse. I'm trying to be a little more realistic about it. I remembered my birthday when our parents promised to take me and Olya to Disneyland in Paris. But instead of a long anticipated gift, they gave me a simple brick game console. Visibly embarrassed. Crying my eyes out back then, demanding to take me to the promised amusement park. That was the first time when Mom and Dad had a big fight. My greediness shattered their relationship. Oh, my jokes earlier on about the whole him being the cause actually hold some truth. If only I could fix everything, gather everybody I love, and take them to Disneyland. You are but a child.
В ночь, когда пропал Вова,
On the
я,
night
кажется,
Vova
видел, как
disappeared,
кто-то
I think
похожий
I
на тебя
saw
плясал под
someone
моим
looking
окном.
like you dancing under my window. Couldn't be true, but I felt like her mask became even more sly. Fox was sniffing me out.
А что? Ты тогда испугался?
Oh, that got you worried. Oh, feel I ever the fire. You know, I agree with that. Just even if it is just a mask.
За себя или
For yourself or for someone else? Olya, as soon as I thought about my sister, my chest tightened and cold sweat streamed down my spine.
Ну так слушай меня
Well then,
внимательно.
listen closely.
Мальчик
A
по
boy
имени
named
Антон.
Anton.
Это большой и
This is a
страшный
big
лес.
and scary forest. The fox girl stepped forward menacingly.
Я не единственный его
And I'm not
обитатель.
its only tenant.
Другие звери
The other
уже знают
beasts
о тебе.
already know about you.
Берегись нас. Этой ночью
Beware.
мы опять придем.
We'll come again tonight. I shouldn't have talked to this evil child, this evil in child form. Wait, I shouldn't have talked to this evil in child form, I thought, panicking.
Пока ты со своей семьей будешь
Your,
спать,
you and your parents will be fast asleep.
близко-близко
We'll sneak really close and dance.
Макарену!
Macarena?
Чё?
Huh?
Эй, Макарена!
I hope my facepalm was audible.
У тебя прямо челюсть
Look,
отвисла, Тоша!
oh, look at you. Your mouth is agape. Antosha
Видел он меня ночью у своего окна. Ага,
saw me near
как
his
же.
window at night. Yeah, right.
Ты случаем не местный дурачок?
You by any chance a dimwit? That is a hell of a line.
Меня не
Nobody would
отпускают
let me
гулять
go
поздно.
outside that late. Oh, you are.
Здесь, знаешь ли, дети пропадают.
So you are child. I don't know. With how tall she is, I thought she would be a bit older. Children go missing here, you know. I touched the plastic frame of my glasses, puzzled by her silly joke. She got me scared to
Ой,
death.
да не тереби ты окуляры
Why don't you
свои.
stop fondling your glasses?
Я раньше тоже
I was
близорукой
also
была.
nearsighted once. Beg pardon.
Лучше послушай меня.
Listen
Может
to
быть,
me
умом
and maybe you'll
наберешься.
become smarter. What?
Лисичку как обычно называют?
What do they call foxes? A lot of things, a lot of which usually aren't negative.
Глупавка?
Cunning, yeah, okay. My words seemed to hurt her.
Ох ты ж! Да
What
как
did
ты
you...
меня...
Ой, прости.
I mean, she's been calling you dumb this whole time. Her laughter was akin to the jingle of a pair of silver bells.
Да шучу я!
Just pull your leg.
Конечно, плутовкой.
Coursework hunting.
Если ты ловкий и
If you're
смелый,
agile and
не
brave enough to
боишься
befriend a
с лодкой
cunning
водиться,
fox,
я, как и
I'll
ты,
help
помогу
look for your
разыскать
vulva.
его. Ты же неспроста его
There's a
ищешь.
reason why you're doing it, right? Well, because he fantasizes about the end result. I shrugged in reply. Her insight was alarming.
Знаю, почему дети повадились соваться
I know
в
why
наш
children
лес.
have been swarming our forests recently. I need drink water. Okay.
Порой там можно
Sometimes
найти
you can find a
много
lot of
всякого
interesting stuff there.
интересного. Я вот
One day
однажды
I saw a
нашла
huge pile of
целый сундук
candy
конфет.
once, and I swam in it
Купалась в
until
нем,
my
да
jaws
так что
cramped.
челюсть слиплась.
A pile of candy. I couldn't deduce whether she believed in what she was saying from the tone of her voice. I showed her another smile, a fake one this time.
Посмотрите-ка, какой недоверчивый.
Ooh, so wary.
Ну-ну.
Well, what
Что
will
ты
you
на
say to
это
this then?
скажешь?
She held out her hand in a furry mitten. There was an assortment of sweets in her palm. I would say she just got that from the store, but you know. In the city where I used to live, sweets like these were sold at markets or in kiosks. Oh, I didn't realize that. Oh, glossary for words that are, like, confusing, I guess. I saw my favorite bubblegum in a vivid wrapper amongst the tasty treasure. A familiar name was on it, Turbo. Ah yes, the one that is very front and center there. A triangular fox face poked her nose towards me.
Угощайся.
Take some. Ah yes, candy from a stranger. Where's the white van to complete the stereotype?
У меня их
My
полный
pockets are
карман.
full of these.
Нет, спасибо. Я...
No thanks. I didn't want to offend the first person I've made contact with in this place, but I also didn't want to take gum off the hands of some weird girl. What if she found it in a snow pile? Or what if it's a prank candy, the kind that blows up in your face when you unwrap it? What type of prank candy have you been exposed to?
У меня на сладкое аллергия.
I'm allergic to sweets.
Что?
What? She sounded puzzled.
Чего? Живешь в мире таблеток и микстур?
Are you living in the world of pills and mixtures?
Ну, в целом, да.
More or less. The fox whistled, yes. Her palm was empty now. It floated in the air, catching snowflakes now that all the candy had suddenly
И
disappeared.
Новый год у вас правда раз в 12 месяцев?
And you only celebrate New Year's once in 12 months, right? Yes.
Есть эти...
And you have those... She clicked her fingers, trying to remember something.
Понедельники?
Mondays? What?
Ага.
Yeah? I smiled.
О, как все запущено.
Man, you're a difficult kid. What?
Вам бы, юноша, кило шоколада съесть против скуки и уныния.
I prescribe you a kilo of chocolate to battle your boredom, young man. This is a very long conversation with the fox lady, I'm just realizing. Who are you? Achievement unlocked. Yuck. Which I believe is for refusing the candy. I refrained from asking that question. She wouldn't answer anyway, or she'll just lie. I really wanted to see what's behind her mask. I was becoming more and more sure that underneath it wasn't just a simple young girl.
Может, Вова
What if
тоже
Vova
нашел
also
сугроб
found
сладостей
a
и
snow
теперь
pile with
кувыркается в
sweets
нем?
and is now rolling in it? This brings me back to the white van comparison.
Слушай,
Actually, what if he decided
он
to
решил
stay in the
остаться в лесу?
forest?
Тогда,
He
наверное,
must be
ему
so
очень
cold without his
холодно в
second mitten
одной
then.
варежке.
The wind caught her words like smoke from a fire and carried them deep into the darkness, into the creepy thicket. Have I mentioned the mitten to her yet? The trees behind me creaked with little bony branches.
Или с ним что-то
Or what if
случилось в
something
пути.
happened to him along the way?
Что-то страшное.
Something terrible. The forest reacted to her words, became alive. It sniffed me out, perking up its ears just like a curious beast. The fox girl pierced me with her eyes again.
Дикие звери?
Wild beasts?
Это,
You find
по-твоему,
that
страшно?
scary?
Ну, не знаю.
Well, I don't know.
Не знаю.
He doesn't know. Oh, whoops.
Уж не с
Oh
двоечником
my.
ли я подружилась?
Have I befriended a dunce? I didn't like being called a dunce, yet being friends with her sounded nice.
Я хорошист.
My grades are good. Yep, nope, that's where you... Not the argument you want to make, I think.
Бел да пушист.
Really now.
Пойдешь со мной?
Will you come
Хорошист,
with me,
Антон.
good grades Anton? Wait,
Найдем
what? We're
твою
going?
игру.
Miss anything? We are still in the conversation with the fox, and I refused to take candy from her. Because she offered candy at some point. We'll find your Volva and you'll be able to ask him what he found deep in the forest.
Ведь пока мы
As long as
вместе,
you're with me, nothing can hurt
никто
you in
тебя
the
в лесу не
forest.
тронет. Вот увидишь.
You'll see. Just in case a choice comes up. Worms of worry writhed in my belly. Better run, whispered my
Я
mind.
тебе не верю.
I don't believe you.
Ты думаешь, я вру?
You take me for a liar. I don't know what I take you for, if I'm being completely honest. Also, if I'm... Oh, that does make a noise. Also, if I'm being honest, I still don't know why you're just here feeding a dog in the dead of morning where no one else seems to be awake yet.
Ты, пожалуйста.
Whatever, you're just like
Никогда
everybody
никто не
else.
верит.
The girl sounded hurt, although I didn't know if she was genuine about it. She turned around as if she had immediately lost all interest in me. I remember my dad's favorite saying, "Where are your manners, son?" Indeed, this fox was
Не
kind to me.
обижайся, пожалуйста.
Please don't get mad. Her eyes are gone again.
Лисы бывают и добрыми.
Foxes can also be nice.
Ну, как в сказках.
Like in fairy tale.
Мне бы только понять, что ты
I just need to
свисал.
know what kind of fox you are. Girl giggled, hiding the nose of her mask in her hands. What's up? Conversation with Fox Girl. That is what is up.
Тогда пойдем со мной в
Follow me
лес.
into the forest
Ты
and you'll get
всё
to know me.
узнаешь.
Hmm.
Но не сейчас.
But
Когда
not right now.
светёт.
When it
А то
gets
тебя,
bright.
бедного, всего
I
лишь
mean, your whole
потрясет.
body is shaking, you poor thing.
Того и гляди, кондрашка
I
хватит.
don't want you to get a stroke.
Ай да, провожу тебя до школы.
Let me accompany you to school. After hearing this, the dog barked in agreement and stopped messing with the mitten. The dog has just been toying with the mitten this whole time. And it didn't try to grab the piece of handwear that almost ran away
Ну,
from me.
если тебе по пути,
Well, if we're going the same... if we're going the same direction... Went towards school... And... we went towards school and the lost dawn. Yeah, welcome back, pup. Here and there, the lights came on the windows of houses we passed, as if their inhabitants were sending us warning signs. Technically only 20-some minutes, but you know. Silhouettes lurked behind curtains, dogs let out occasional barks. Spirals of gray smoke rose from chimneys, TVs bustled, and dishes clanged in kitchens. You have an amazing ear if you can hear that. We watched the village slowly rise from slumber while carefully treading the snowy wheel trails. I walked in the left one and took the right. The dog was following right behind us. Right, the dog exists. I expected the fox to bring up something weird again, but she stayed silent all the way to school, as if playing with me some game only she was privy to. She would only giggle from time to time when the dog sneezed from snowflakes that fell on its nose. I was the first to break the
Как
silence.
тебя зовут?
So what is your name?
А, ну конечно.
Here it comes.
Имена, имена,
Names,
имена.
names, names.
Людям
You
непременно
people
надо вешать
always need to
ярлыки на
put
всё
labels on
подряд.
everything. I agree with her. I agree with her. Just
Ну и как бы ты назвал такую лису,
what name would
как
you
я?
give a fox like me?
Даже не знаю.
I don't know.
Но я читал про лису
But
по
I've read
имени
about
Алиса.
Alisa the fox.
А что?
You know what?
Я не
I don't mind.
против. Пусть будет Алиса.
Okay, she now has the name of Alisa. I couldn't understand if she was joking or not. Turned around as if looking for an answer from the dark sky devoid of dawn. My silent questions were left unanswered. The school's outline was already in our sights. I think I was in a conversation with that fox lady for like 40 minutes. Giant brick box stuck in the endless night. Lights in its windows Lights in its windows didn't bode well for me. The warden trees were guarding the schoolyard. The warden tree? Is that what you call those things? Screams, childish laughter, and someone's whistle tore up the silence. I went here with Mom when we just moved to the place. When we just moved, and the place looked cozy at the time. Empty corridors that smelled of polish, puffy snow outside. The second time I came alone to get the books and just kept on imagining my peers rolling down the railings, grade schoolers running to the library, teachers marching down the corridor with the air of self-importance around them. High schoolers were smoking at the entrance, in track pants and wool caps perched on their foreheads. I misread that. I thought they had pants on their heads as well. Their appearance destroyed the last of hopes for a cozy school. Their stingy eyes and teeth yellow from nicotine, their smirks, all of it had the same gloomy effect as the cloudy winter morning. Absorbed by my thoughts, I completely forgot about my companion.
После уроков жду тебя на заднем дворе.
I'll wait for you at the backyard after school,
Возле повешенного.
near the hanged man. Why is there a hanged man at school?
Возле кого?
The exact near what? She just ignored my
Не
question.
опаздывай.
Don't be late. I hesitated, blowing hot and cold again. Mom always said that when I would have trouble choosing between the two options. Thinking about Mom helped me
Я
reply.
после школы сразу домой.
I'm going straight home after school.
Эх, Антоша,
Oh,
Антоша.
Антоша,
Это я тебя так просто
I'm going to
отпустила.
let you off the hook.
Другие же
But the others will
незаметно
creep up to you
подкрадутся
with
со
their
своими
smiles and
улыбочками
sink their teeth
и
into you.
вцепятся.
Won't be able to
Клещами
shake them off
оторвешь.
so easily.
Попомни мои слова.
Remember my words. Oh, gee. Oh. Fox opened her mouth in a wide yawn. What kind of trick is this? Someone running in the distance called out my name. I instinctively turned around. Oh! Huge snowball whizzed by my shoulder and hit the dog. It whimpered and ran toward the spring. The darkness devoured it. The fox girl was also nowhere to be seen. She dissolved into frosty air. Or was she hiding in my shadow? She's just out of sight. You just have really bad peripheral vision. After taking a deep breath, I went towards the school, toward the cutlets in dough, toward the light raining down onto the snow. You know, now that the conversation with the fox girl is over, I am actually going to call this stream here. Just because sleepy. And I still have other stuff I want to do tonight, but also sleepy. Well, beforehand. 1, 2, 3, 4 things to look at. I sure you want to overwrite save? Yes. No. Didn't mean to click on that. Ugh. I sure this will lose unsafe progress? Yes. The owl is also now behind me. The menu screen is filling up with the creatures. At first, it was just the bunny. Now there are more. So, anyway. I'm just going to leave this stream here. I don't know if I'm gonna come back to do this anymore, but this was enjoyable to a degree. And very different from stuff I'd say relatively different than stuff I normally do, so I don't know. I do not know. But either way, I thank everyone who came, everyone old and new. I hope people had an enjoyable time here. And as always, ha ba ba.